I have a problem.
What's your problem?
I have a huge problem. And it might sound very back in my day-ish, but hear me out here. I don't want to listen to anything anymore. I don't want to watch anything anymore. I want to read.
Why do you want to read?
I'm intrigued. Go on.
Heat have a big win last night on the road against the Clippers. Great end to that game. Norm Powell gets his revenge game, locks up Kawhi on the last play. Great fun, right? Great play. Bam Adebayo, 25 and 10.
That dude is
game.
aggressive.
They're running their offense. They ran the same set, I want to say, 4 or 5 times down the stretch. Clippers had no answers. You know what I wanted? I was like, you know what? Big win. Norm Powell, revenge game. I wonder what they said after the game. So I'm trying to find a transcript of the post-game comments. That way I can read, I can make notes, I can copy and paste, ready for the show. Everything is a YouTube video. I don't want to watch no video, man. I ain't got time for that. I want something I can look, read, refer back to, look away, look back at. Not like, oh, hold on, let me rewind it again. What do you say? Oh, yeah, he said that. I'm tired of this.
I got a little something for you.
Yes.
Wait till you find out about YouTube's transcripts feature. You go onto the transcripts and you read them, and they're long, yeah, but
Fair?
you get the whole thing. Yep.
No, it's not doing no weird, funky AI thing.
No.
Where it calls
It's
them
legit.
banned out of bio or something like that.
Oh, no, sir. I also got a website to share with you that also you can pull YouTube transcripts from that I use often. Very nice.
Because I'll tell you a big deal for me. People are like, oh, did you so-and-so reported this? I'm like, well, I'm following them on Twitter. I'm reading The Athletic. I'm into it. Like, where? They're like, oh, they said it on a podcast. I'm like, I'm not listening to a podcast. If it's not the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz or Cinephobe or Basketball Illuminati or Here's the Science, a Bar Rescue podcast.
And even those, you don't really listen. You talk in them.
I listen to Cinephobe every single episode.
After you record it?
Because it drops like weeks later. So,
But you lived it.
oh my God! But to relive it, mwah.
You're the Greg Cody of the day.
Oh my God!
Speaking of that, I don't know where he is.
Well, there's traffic because there's a big thing happening, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
the big thing's tomorrow, though. It's not today. It's tomorrow.
I can't wait.
it's like there's like a tidal wave. It's like a ripple that starts and a crest, and then on the other side of it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do the Dan thing and sit here and shame Greg Cody for not leaving earlier when he knew there was a huge event happening downtown.
All right, good. I'll be the one to do it then. So Greg is late like every week, all right? And this week in particular, we were specifically told today's election day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow the president is going to be here, okay?
Not here, but across the street.
That's
the
here.
Kaseya Center.
That's here.
It's here,
all right?
bro.
That's here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we were specifically warned and given options, okay, as far as how to make sure we are here on time. Matter of fact, your boy Amin, that's me, I took the bright line.
Wow.
Same.
For the first time ever today.
How was it?
I liked it.
Did you get a little morning pop? You know, just something to get you in the mood a little bit?
Nah, you know, I took my seat. I wanted to make sure I was following directions, and I just enjoyed the quick ride, and then I got off and I walked on over here, all right? I liked the bright line. I'll probably do that again tomorrow. But even when it's normal, Cody is always late. God forbid he decides, instead of setting his alarm for whatever godforsaken time it is that he gets up in the morning, how about you do it 10 minutes earlier? 10 minutes earlier. And you want, oh, I'm not getting up at this. 10 minutes earlier, and you won't be late. He refuses to not be late.
You would think he would get out of his tomb now that the sun comes out earlier.
It's crazy. It's crazy behavior.
I like the idea of one day maybe AI can do this for us, and we'll get to how much it sucks. In a bit. Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute. We'll get that in a minute. But for right now, I'll say this. One day, AI will be good enough. Well, I'll say, can you remake Back to the Future for me? But instead of Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, put Greg Cody. And you know, at the end of Back to the Future, spoiler alert, he's like, he knows the Doc gets shot. Doc doesn't want the note. So he's like, I'll show up 10 minutes early so I can warn him. Greg Cody will show up later. 10 minutes later after the Doc got
The Libyans still kill Doc.
There's
like, oh, Doc!
there's no punitive measures. At a certain point, you need to bench the center that keeps having the false start, guys.
No one's even asking him to be here for a production meeting.
No.
Just be here for the show.
Just be here in time.
I don't know.
In front of that microphone.
I don't know, man. I think sometimes you got a star player. You let the star player. Sometimes we hold that bus, man. Hold the bus a little bit.
Right, but is he a star player?
Ooh, now we're asking questions.
That's the right question.
Look,
to ask.
Is he coasting? Are
I
you
love
coasting on
Greg
a past
Cody.
resume?
He's a rotational guy. He's a great locker room guy. I think of him as like Udonis Haslem. His jersey's going to the Raptors. We could argue to build a statue for the man. But
You could also argue, what's he still doing here?
he's also not
Udonis
getting run down.
Haslem.
No.
Udonis Haslem's MO is work ethic.
That's right.
In Greg's defense, I would argue this is more of a Kawhi Leonard situation.
Yeah,
Which is that
I'm
this
with
is
you.
a superstar, and when he's there, you're feeding him the ball. But he's in and out of the lineup, and you can even question why is
It's
he in and out of the
UD.
lineup.
It's more of a
Joel Embiid
Wow,
situation.
really?
He's got like
Okay.
20 minutes in him.
Okay, maybe more
It
Joel
can also be
Embiid.
Kawhi in that it's a
Hold on.
contract no one else wants.
And
What
then he
about
took money
this?
on the side?
Hear me out on this. I hear Kawhi. I hear Joel Embiid. I raise you Zion Williamson.
Okay.
Whereas things where we're saying, you know what? Part of your unavailability is your doing.
See,
You
I
have to bear some
disagree.
responsibility. But when he's here, he's a star, man.
I disagree because
Throw that lob.
at least Zion this year, he decided to make a drastic change, which was he lost the weight.
Still hurt,
because
though.
He's
He's also done that 4 times.
he
All right,
made an
let's not
attempt.
pretend like we haven't seen the Zion looks in great shape
Yeah.
during training camp 4 times previously. And then what happens comes January.
Well, all them pictures of Coke,
Po' boys.
all them po' boys and beignets and all that stuff.
A whole pitcher of
My,
Coke.
my
huh?
oh man, it was one of the craziest stories I ever heard. It's not recent. It's like a couple years ago, but still, I was like, how?
Like when they brought it to the table, did they try to put it at the center of the table? Or it's just like, no, that's right here.
Yes, yeah.
That's
why,
mine.
why don't you just leave this right here? I'll take care of the rest of this.
Could have been diet.
Maybe. Okay.
Diet's not
well,
bad.
perhaps.
A zero. Coke
But
zero.
A pitcher?
Did he drink it straight out the pitcher? Because it's just for him.
He put a little straw in the pitcher. Actually, it's like
Like a cartoon character?
like a cartoon character. Just
There's no sharesies. It's just for him.
It's up there. If I had read the story rather than hear it firsthand, I would have thought
That's
it
your
was.
move. You want to read it.
Well, yeah. If I read it, then I'm like, okay, now I'm in. But I heard the story. But I heard the story from not like on a podcast. I heard it in real life
from a source.
Yeah, so this is me doing reporting, kind of, sort of, not really. But the other part of it, the first thing I thought of was, do you guys remember the Kawhi Leonard Apple Time story?
I remember
Which is
Apple
still-
time,
That story is true. I don't care what they say.
That's
right.
Mike, to this day, I'm on the radio on Sirius XM NBA Radio, which you can catch me and Jason Jackson Sundays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Jason Jackson.
Jackson, if you're nasty. When people call and, all right, call, you're on the air, and it's like, hey, guys, how's it going? Which they do, which Dan outlawed years and years ago on this show, but people still do it on other radio shows. Every time someone asks me how I'm doing, my response always is Apple time. And I just wait to see if anyone notices. To this day, no one ever say, wait, what'd you say? Everyone's just like, oh, yeah, that's great. Like, but the Kawhi Leonard Apple time story is the purest example of I want to believe, right? When we talk about fake stories, right, made up stories. There was a story yesterday about a certain collegiate executive being ejected from a game. And
I like that story.
Turns out it wasn't real. But the reason why people thought it was real and ran with it was because they want to believe. They want to believe.
But the account was followed by Joe Shad.
Yeah, it's all Joe Shat's fault.
He's not willy-nilly with his follows.
What's the threshold for the followers on the account that puts something believable, not believable out there?
There is no threshold. For me, if I don't know you, you out of here. So I'll give you a great example.
But why would you know someone covering play-by-play
Yeah,
of
you
a
don't
St.
know
Bonaventure
everyone.
game?
It wasn't, because it was a tournament. It wasn't a random game at wherever the hell they're at.
I mean, Joe Shad follows don't just grow on trees.
I'm just saying, man, like, my thing, remember when someone came out with this lengthy column about Michael Jordan is coming back to TV because he's sick of people, like, staying in the past and he wants to, like, big up the current generation. And everyone ran with it. And I said, wait a second. This thing was, first of all, published on Medium.com, which is basically a glorified blog spot, right? But second of all, the credentials of the guy said he was a columnist for the Chicago Tribune, which everyone ran with, who's covered the NBA for 15 years. I said, buddy, if you covered the NBA for 15 years, I would have heard about you. You can't be an unknown working at the Chicago Tribune and you go cover my sport for 15 years. Mike, you say, how would I know? I may not be on top of college basketball like that. I know the names.
Okay.
I know the Jeff
you know,
Goodman.
well, you're in the circles. I'm sorry.
You got people that know people.
I wanted it to be true, and I
Gary
showed
Parishes.
I wanted it to be true.
I showed you, and you had the right amount of scrutiny.
Yeah,
and
man.
this is how fake news is so effective.
I still
Joe
think it might be
Shad
true.
Follows 44,000 people.
Come on, man.
Now he has 245,000 followers himself, so
Solid
not the
ratio.
worst ratio.
He's doing the Tay Diggs. Follow me, I'll follow you back. I remember the
Jose
day
Batista.
I got followed by Tay Diggs. I was like, I made it.
Can I ask you something? How that works? Like, for how many followers did you say Joe Shad, or how many people does he follow?
He follows 44,000.
Okay, so for someone like I don't give out follows all willy nilly. All right, I probably follow a couple hundred people.
Really?
But for you gotta earn that.
You just
shit.
followed me.
Yeah, well, all right, you've earned it. Notice I didn't do
You
it
were on
right
my
when
turf.
I started working
You
here.
were on my turf. That's why.
You
had
earned
to
it.
pay respect.
Didn't do it right away. But the point is, when someone like that follows 44,000 people, how do they navigate their timeline?
Zaz, how many? How 560 people I'm hearing is.
And that's how many. Zaz
He
follows
follows-
561, and he has 47,000.
How do you navigate your timeline?
Good for you.
How do you navigate your timeline now? It's not even the people that you follow.
Yeah,
it
it's
just force
I don't
feeds
see
you an
anybody I
algo.
follow, by the way. That's why I don't use Twitter as much anymore because it's just like I've
I've seen you lately in the Twitter streets, though. I've seen you lately.
Just replies. I
Yeah.
do reply. I do my. I take care of my.
Your
garden.
Threads algo is dialed.
My Threads is on point, baby.
Man, I never check that thread.
Threads.
I like
is-
Threads.
Threads is where it's at, man.
The
never
the
checked.
algo
I
don't know
is
if it's where it's
exactly
I don't
where
know
I
about
like
that.
it.
But like my Twitter, I'm at like 119, and I follow 1,190, and that's a lot.
That's a lot, man.
But it's 10% of like what I have.
But you only have 119 followers. You got to up your game.
119,000.
Oh.
Put that K on that. With that respect, Greg.
Hey, good
How's it
morning.
going?
It's going great, thank you.
Do you have it back in my day?
What?
We talked about it last week that you were going to have it back in my day.
Oh yeah, damn,
Tuesday.
I forgot. It's surgery week. It's knee week.
There you go.
You know,
He's Zion, guys. What you want? When he plays, he's amazing, but he's hurt a lot.
I'm hurt.
That's on me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was knee week.
It's
I'm
knee
sorry.
week.
Yeah, man.
You got a lot on your plate.
How you feeling, Greg?
It's
going
knee
up to knee
eve.
week.
You know, I'm a little apprehensive.
Yeah.
Going under the knife tomorrow. So
Is this first surgery ever, or like
No,
you ever
third.
gone under?
yeah.
He had famously, to get the
that's
tumor
right,
out
the tumor.
a few years ago.
The-
And then I had the belly button thing.
You're also
you
of
went
a-
under for that? That
was-
was a local.
You're of an
that was
age
a full
where
anesthesia.
Wow.
going under the knife at this point is always a
Scary.
risky proposition.
Right. Well, thank you for that.
You never
Yeah.
know if you're
No,
going to wake
right.
up.
That's true.
What are you doing?
But then you do.
He's right.
But then
the
you
long-
do wake up.
The
Greg.
long nap.
But you might not.
But you might not. In fact,
I'm 2 for 2, but it's a small sample size.
the odds are right now. The odds are worse than they've ever been in your entire life in terms of waking up from surgery.
That's true.
Doing. He
You know
wakes up
what?
every day out of the tomb. Relax.
I tell you what, I am older right now than I've ever been in my whole life.
Exactly right.
But you're older now.
Now and then now and now. So, we live and learn.
And you want to call him Udonis Haslem?
Exactly
How dare you? You disrespectful.
No, that was
bastard.
stellar. That's good
That's-
tape.
that's good.
He put out good tape just now.
Threw up the alley oop. He caught it. Came down.
If we put him on waivers, he's getting claimed.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Absolutely.
We were discussing before you came in if we should like the way an athlete would get benched if they keep showing up late to practice.
Sure.
Like, should we send a message to you? But we said that you might be so good that we don't do that.
Okay, I'm not the John Morant of
segue.
I mean,
Still got your joy?
Transition.
yes. I mean, come on now. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm just late occasionally through no fault of
Occasionally.
my own.
No fault of his own.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of Ja, Zaz, you asked the question: Has Greg Cody lost his joy because Ja told the press that he lost his joy?
It's unbelievable. Can we play the audio here? So last night, Ja Morant, he made his return, 1 game suspension, and he returned last night, did not play well. He was like, I don't know, he's like 3 of 14 or something. And, body language horrible during the game. And here he was post-game.
Were you and the coaching staff able to talk about what happened Friday and get lost?
Y'all asked that question to them, huh?
What about for you?
Y'all asked that question, so y'all know the answer to that.
Do you feel like everything's been resolved?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
Well, yeah, but
There
we
you
didn't
go.
hear it from you.
Obviously, they can't go and tell y'all something I ain't say.
You feel like you got that same joy right now that we used to say from it?
No.
Why not?
Hey,
What can be done to get it back?
we'll see.
Of course. Do you think you have a good relationship with the franchise?
Yeah.
In general?
Yeah.
Seems
They
like
told y'all that, right?
I didn't say anything about that.
If I had a good relationship, I wouldn't talk to him at all. So,
Jimmy,
and we've had our combos over these.
Do you have any regrets about the way you played on Friday night in the second half?
You said what?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played the game? I'm not talking about the
That's your home run question?
where's your
Sound like a bait question.
Greg, is that a fair question? Your journal, is that a fair question?
Well, how did he phrase it again?
Do you have any regrets about the way you played in the second half on Friday night?
No, I don't think it's a bad question at all. I think it's perfectly legit based on his performance and not driving, taking all jump shots. I'm not going to be an apologist for this guy's unprofessional behavior. He's taken the Jimmy Butler seminar on how to behave when you don't want to play there, when you want out. He's just pouting his way. He hopes to a trade. It's ridiculous.
Do you have any regrets on the time you left your home this morning?
None at all.
Come on,
The-
man.
the
Well
head-
done. That's how you answer.
The headline is a little misleading of he says he's lost his joy.
He
A
was
reporter
asked,
says, hey, you have joy. I mean, he does answer no.
No, he
could-
could. No,
But it
he
seems
answered
a little misleading,
no,
the
he answered
headline.
yes.
No, I know, but he could have just said no. But it's
Yeah, he could have just said I wouldn't say that.
there's no difference in that headline when you're asked that.
Look, here's the thing. Greg's right. There's a way you do this so that you're not being insubordinate, but you're definitely not making everything run smoothly.
So easily could have come out and said, I'm putting that behind me. I just want to move forward and win
If-
games.
if-
so easy.
Jazz, if you want to stay.
Correct.
If you don't want to stay, you don't do that.
He's 100% getting
I've
traded.
taught this seminar many a times to so many players. Look, in the NFL, when you want out, what do? You hold out. I won't show up. In the NBA, when you want to be out, you do show up. You show up and you make a mess. You make a mess not by being, oh, yes, sir, no, sir, oh, I just want to move forward past this and we're all working. No, you be like, you give answers like that. It's like, I didn't stop talking to the media. I didn't disparage. Everything he says when it's like, it's a little radioactive or third rail, what does he do? He says, did they tell you that? Obviously, they wouldn't tell you something I didn't say, right? So he's always shifting the focus. It is a
Nothing is ever his fault.
master class
On
if
the
someone
court
wants to
or
get
off.
out.
Yes.
Nothing's ever his fault. I mean, look, that's how you lead right there, right? Like, that's team leader right there. If you're Memphis, you start taking phone calls now. You really do. You start because they get a lot for him. It's not a terrible situation for them. You get a lot for John Morant. You're Memphis, you start taking phone calls right now. That situation is going nowhere. He is 100% getting traded.
So, Greg, I want to throw this to you because you weren't with us yesterday. We were talking about if you're the Miami Heat and you're off to this very positive start. Last night, great win on the road against the Clippers. Bam Adebayo looks great. The offense looks great.
He's aggressive.
Right? But John Morant's available. Do you make that call?
Well, Heat culture thinks it can fix anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's the starting point. I would look at that talent and say I can fix him. We can make him fit. But the question, can they? I mean, Tyler Hero is going to be back soon. There's already talk about how do they make him fit in what they're doing now. But short answer, if John Morant is available for a fair price, yeah, I would. I would think I could fix that guy.
We're looking at an option where last year Desmond Bane went for how many first-round picks?
A lot.
Four
or
I think.
five?
Four or five, okay. Does Ja even get close to that?
I think it's an interesting question because you make, like, when you phrase it like that, it sounds like, okay, if Desmond Bane is worth 5 first-round picks, how many picks is this guy worth? And that's not what it is. Desmond Bane was worth 5 first-round picks to the Magic.
Right.
It's
just
about
need one
Just like
person.
Rudy Gobert was worth 5 first-round picks to the Wolves. Doesn't mean that those players are worth that.
To clarify, Bane was 4 first-round picks and a pick swap.
Okay.
So 4.5.
But Ja's a superstar, and you're looking for a permanent fix. You're looking for your culture to permanently fix somebody. And you look at the recent history of the Miami Heat when they bring in these projects, right? Guys that have a reputation around the league. Probably the most sterling example is one of the examples that they would hold against you in Jimmy Butler. That worked out great.
Right.
Until it didn't. And he absolutely nuked a season. You have examples like Terry Rozier, Dion Waiters, Hassan Whiteside, where they kind of worked, but temporarily. Terry Rozier
Birdman, too.
Never worked. Birdman, I think, is the example where he was in your building and from like start to finish,
Right.
he was bought in and he had that reputation. What I'm saying is it's been a while. Yeah, they did this with Timmy Hardaway. Yeah, they did this with Alonzo Mourning. We're talking about 30 years ago now.
No, but I think there's a point also where many of those names, right? Terry Rozier probably is outlier, actually, from all the names you named. There was a level of productivity and value they got out of all those reclamation projects.
And they were essentially considered winning players before the Heat even acquired them.
Even Hassan. Well,
Whiteside, no.
Whiteside, no.
Oh, but come on, they didn't.
Deion Waiters, no.
But I don't include Whiteside in that group because they didn't give up anything to get him.
No,
it's not like it was a
it's-
gamble.
We're not talking about like the acquisition, reclamation project.
You're hanging your hat on this culture being strong enough to change Ja Morant, and you're cherry picking from examples that are pretty long ago.
Mike, what I would say is, one, in terms of reclamation projects, like I said, they all had a level of value that they got out of those guys. Now, as time goes by, things happen, and like there's a reason why those guys were reclamation projects to begin with, right? And I was very critical about how they handled the whole Hassan Whiteside situation because I'm like, you know who he is. Like, you might have gotten him to a level, but you guys knew. And you handed him that money, and you handed that money before you did Dwayne Wade. And that sends a message, even if we all know, well, no, that's just the order of operation. You know, for a kid like that, he's not going to see it like, oh, yeah, I'm the man now, right? So there's that. The second thing also is, of all the reclamation projects, where would Ja Morant stand in terms of talent and potential in the moment?
Greater than Jimmy Butler was at the time.
So, like, he's younger.
We were arguing, is Jimmy Butler a superstar?
Yeah.
When Ja is right. We're not having that argument.
Right.
We know.
Well, I think I would call Ja Morant a budding superstar, a can-be superstar.
And he's played himself into that because 2 years ago, no doubter.
Right.
Yes, but he's coming into his prime. He just turned 26. And I think the Butler analogy is apt because this is a team with a short window. And if they get 4 or 5 big years out of Ja Morant, that's fine. You don't expect to have this guy when he's 35.
Well, he's 26.
Mm-hmm.
He's smaller but super explosive. Mm-hmm. And we have some examples at that position of smaller explosive guys like John Wall, wear and tear.
It'll age poorly.
Right. You hit your prime. It's been said you hit your prime in the NBA at 27. You're a fully formed player at that point.
Can't shoot.
It's hard for guys to get better after that age. So we have a guy that for 2 years, there's been off-court stuff, but a diminishing player given where the hopes and expectations were.
Yep.
This is not exactly given everything that we know about him, and when you include the concerns you might have about this guy relies so heavily on his athleticism, this isn't a slam dunk trade to make.
I agree.
So this is what I would say. First and foremost, that's the biggest concern to me. It's not his attitude or off-the-court stuff. This is his games played. 67, that was a shortened season due to COVID. 63 out of 67 second year. Third year, 57 out of 82. Fourth year, 61 out of 82. Fifth year, 9 out of 82. Sixth year, 50 out of 82. This year, obviously, 6 out of 6. So, like, we're talking about a guy, you can't even stay on the court. That's number one.
I think it was on a podcast or on Twitter, that Ja hasn't played 7 consecutive games since 2023.
Wow. Like that. That's not because of suspensions or whatever. That's because he's not healthy. And part and parcel of that is what Mike is talking about. He's a great athlete who has, respectfully, like my build. He's about my height and probably around my weight, maybe a few pounds less because I've had a lot to eat since I got here.
And he's getting in trouble in Memphis. Now we're going to move him to Miami.
I don't discount Memphis as a trouble town.
Okay, but I count Miami as a town that there's a lot more to do.
Yes, but then my rebuttal to you is, again, knowing this organization, how many people have actually gotten in trouble?
That's right.
Here.
We
have
a really good security staff.
I know, but it's not about what you did.
That one time
it was
in the hotel.
Yeah. Thank God for Mario Chalmers is all I want to say.
It's not about what you did, it's what you get caught.
Ironically, one of the other fits that would make sense in terms of a swap where you could take two guys who maybe aren't living up to exactly what those franchises wanted, it would be Trae Young for Ja Morant.
I think that
Ja Morant to Atlanta?
That's smart. Yeah, that actually that really works.
Yep. Unfortunately, Trae is out for like a month right now.
All right, so let's take some examples that might be a little bit better to compare to. Miami's had opportunities and sniffed around acquiring James Harden at at this point multiple times. Russell Westbrook was available. I remember, and I think at the center of both those trades, we were wondering, do you give up Tyler Hero for this player? And I think maybe here we are again. The Miami Heat ultimately, whether it be their trade capital or just internally, they decided to not go down that path and not acquire players that had a certain reputation. Westbrook was one of these players that was getting up there that relied heavily on his athleticism, even though he was actually, if you want to be encouraged by John Morant, the durability of Russell Westbrook, though their frame is different.
Yeah, it's different. No, it's a different beast.
Yeah, but the Miami Heat decided, for better or worse, to not go all in on those moves. So can we forecast what they decide to do with John Morant here?
Again, like the problem is, what the inherent risk. Again, I don't think the risk that you're weighing is, oh, he's a knucklehead. He won't get along. He won't buy in. He's not healthy. He hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy,
and his play might be starting to decline.
I don't think so. I think that's totally a part of what's happening right there. I'm not saying the way they're doing it is wrong. I'm just saying I attribute his poor play to the coach, and the coach even talked about it. He said, we're doing something that's different, that's kind of cutting edge, shorter stints, higher intensity, and he said there's going to be casualties in that. Casualties of guys are used to playing a certain way, and now they have to play a different way, and casualties in terms of the way they used to play makes it easier to breed chemistry on the court with your teammates, and this might be harder to manufacture that, but we believe that this is the best thing for the short, medium, and long term, and that's all well and good, but again, it goes back to what I talked about yesterday, Greg. I said, that tells me they never had the conversation with Ja, which tells me organizationally, either they're idiots or they've moved off of him. They're like, maybe this team isn't meant to be built around him.
You really believe they haven't had that conversation with Ja?
There's no way you have something that drastic of a change and you're not, like, your star player is not bought into that. You can't do that. You cannot say...
Well, they can't force him to buy into it.
Yes, then you don't do it. That's the point. I remember when Don Nelson was the head coach of the Knicks. Greg, you remember this, right? It was a short stint, and they were above 500. But Don Nelson was like, we're not going to give the ball to Patrick Ewing anymore. We're going to give the ball to Anthony Mason, and he's going to initiate offense. Dog, you're asking to get fired at that point, unless the organization is like, yeah, I like it. And if that's the case, then they've already made a referendum on the star player who's getting de-emphasized here.
So then they've chosen Jaren Jackson.
That's, to me, or they're idiots. They could be idiots. You always leave that door open. I'll give you a positive example of this. The Toronto Raptors with Dwayne Casey and Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, they'd win 50 games. They'd win the division. They'd go to the conference finals. They'd lose in the playoffs to LeBron every single time. Dwayne Casey's last year, he says, guys, they were a very ISO-heavy ball club. So we're not going to win like this. We're not going to win with the ball in your guys' hand. We won 100 pick and rolls. We have to have more of a motion offense. But you know what he did? This is before their season had just ended. He took Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan to the NBA Finals to go watch the Warriors play. He said, that's how I want to play, moving like that. You see how Steph is off ball, how much that's how we need to play if we're going to break through to the next level. And they spent a whole summer talking about it. They were bought in. That next year, he was coach of the year. They won a ton of games. They still lost to LeBron because them's be the breaks, right? But the point is, when he made the decision, I'm changing the system that's made both of you guys millions of dollars, the system that made both of you guys perennial all-stars. I'm changing it. This thing that you do so well and you're so successful at, and by the way, we're winning 50 games. We're going to the playoffs. We're losing to the eventual, like the best player in the league or whatever. They have every reason to say, man, I ain't doing that. It ain't my fault. But he sold them on it, and that sell job started before the start of the new season. It started before the end of the old season. He starts selling them on that. And they come in and they bought in. Now Dwayne Casey got let go after that, but that was not because DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry were like, get this bum out of here. Right? Matter of fact, Nick Nurse was the assistant, and he took over, and he continued that same system, which they eventually won a championship with Kawhi Leonard. So I say this to say, Zaz, you don't make a drastic change to your system without buy-in from your star player unless you don't give a f*** about what he thinks. And in which case, you do whatever you want, especially for a first-time coach. You trying to get fired, dog? You want to piss off the best player in the locker room?
Well, maybe they don't care what he thinks.
But that's my point.
Maybe they don't care.
That's my point.
Maybe it was two things. They don't care what he thinks because A, if he doesn't like it, we will then deal with it. We're kind of tired of him anyway. Or he may not like it right now, but he's going to like it when it works. And we're winning. Like, I will win him over with this new style of play.
Oh, man. Jeremy, the show within the show. Make it the show.
Sacramento Kings.
Oh, my God.
That's a spot.
They would absolutely give the sun, the moon, and the earth. And then I would have the delight of saying, who's better, De'Aaron Fox or John Morant? In real life, we can see what John Morant gets done over there.
That makes so much sense to me. Like, when you look at their contracts, right? I mean, you're a bad basketball team. And you have $47 million in Zach LaVine. You have $42 million in Domantas Sabonis. You have $24 million in DeMar DeRozan, 18 in Monk, 15 in Schroeder. Like, you have all of these guys that are movable contracts, and you desperately need to do something different than the roster that you created here. You just put together a bunch of pieces that are names that really have no flow to their games. They don't complement each other. Obviously, like, building something around the idea of Sabonis and Morant offensively is very interesting. And when you look at how long those guys are under contract, like Sabonis directly matches up, and LaVine has a player option next year. So if Memphis just wants to get out of this, they can do that with Zach LaVine. At the very worst, it's next season instead of one more year of Morant. Like, that seems to be the place that makes the most sense so that they can make a splash and Memphis can kind of reset.
Yeah, but it's where it makes a sense for Jean Morant too. You're trading for a little bit of a head case type player, right? If he doesn't want to play for Sacramento, if that's the last place in the league he wants to play, do you really want him if you're Sacramento?
Splash.
Let me say this, Greg, respectfully. He's playing in Memphis. You don't really get to be a chooser at that point. Like,
No, he wants out. No doubt about it.
But my point is Sacramento is a step up. Everything is a step up off of Memphis.
I also feel like he believes a step up is going to be wherever he can go, that they do whatever he wants.
Where he wants to play. He play the way he wants to play. I think that's the big thing.
I'm looking at this through the Heat lens right now. If you're the Heat, it's about fit and cost. Can you make him fit? Does he want to play for you? Is the team sold on it? What does Captain Bam say? I think everybody has to be on board. And if the cost is right, then you go for it. You're not going to trade Hero and 2 first-round picks, but if the cost
You wouldn't
is right,
have to.
I think they would.
Every time.
I don't think they would. I don't
don't.
think they would.
I hear you. We might be a Norm Powell team right now.
Oh,
we
man,
might
Norm Powell. I love Norm Powell.
We might be.
He's great, man.
That's a
love him.
likable player right there.
That's a likable
I could
dude.
root for that guy.
But I will say, every time we've had these debates and we're like, no, let's stay. We don't need that guy. It's come back to haunt this franchise. And then the same complaint is there lobbied often by me. We got to do something. Now, the something might have been Norm Powell. But
Looks like it.
Can I ask you guys?
I'm a little scared given the recent history.
I will say you're talking about guys who most of the time when you were talking about making those moves were still at the peak of their powers or just starting to tail, where you weren't making the massive moves of the recent lottery picks and multiple firsts for them. This is a different scenario where you have a guy who's probably at the basement of his value, where maybe you'd be making that swap for a talent, but I just don't know that it is a fit right now.
Let me ask this question, as you guys are all Miami guys, grew up in Miami,
I'm definitely
Heat
a Miami
fans,
guy.
right? Like, is this market capable of rooting for a team that's like scrappy and that's like this right here?
That was how the Miami Heat started.
Okay, man.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
until you got Shaq,
Hardest,
and then
hardest
everything
working,
changed.
best
condition.
condition,
No, man.
most hated.
You know that's
Most
Brother.
physical, nastiest,
You guys-
toughest team in the NBA.
That's right.
you guys know that's not like
Yeah, did you ever see Thunder Dan Marley get a hip into a guy?
been on
You
the
see
30 and
PJ
11.
Brown, you see when he tossed that charlatan Charlie Ward into the crowd?
Did
Bruh.
you see Tyler Johnson and James Johnson off the bench? Come on.
We wrote it on the court.
I'm gonna tell you guys right now.
This is who we are.
You are
It's my life.
fugazi.
No.
If
Hey,
you
I'm
think-
not LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. No. I'm John
Hell,
Crowdy and
Hollywood
Sasha
is hell.
Danilevich.
Someone who was 12 years old
I'm the man
in
to steal Eric Murdoch.
2004, right?
You know about Grant Long?
Someone who was 12 years old in 2004 is now in their
Dwayne
30s.
Carswell.
That guy, all they know is
You know
we
what,
had
Keith
Shaq,
Atkins?
and then we had Dwayne Wade, and we had LeBron.
I was 11
and we-
years old when the Heat won the championship, and I bleed Heat
Hey,
culture.
hey,
How
hey,
dare you?
Are you?
Let's not-
hold on.
let's not act
you
like this is an
waxing
old thing.
poetic about Ike Austin
You know what,
and
James
for Sean
Posey?
Leonard?
Guys.
No, but I am about Luke Babbitt.
Guys, they were that in 2020. When they made it to the bubble finals,
basically.
they were that scrappy.
And
team.
you guys wanted more. You guys wanted more.
Yeah, but we rallied around that team. The question that you asked is Miami capable of
loving a
rooting for
blue-collar
of loving a
This is it.
blue-collar team? Yes, we
This
are.
is it.
The two most recent finals we've been to, we had that blue-collar team.
blue collar.
Right. It's all about winning for Heat fans. They don't care about anything else. Plus, if you
Forged in fire.
if you get Jean Morant, all of a sudden it helps you on the most hated category.
Oh, definitely get
I
them
do
blues.
miss that too. That's a spectrum. Blue-collar, most hated. Good with both.
6-7 is what you just did.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Jumped the gun a little bit there.
I didn't jump anything, man.
jumped the gun.
Bro,
He
was
nope,
excited.
That was well done.
Did it
was,
right
but-
on point.
Well, the mic didn't pick up this.
Pretty sure it
part.
did.
It just got the episode is.
It's like on a
go
buzzer
back
beater
and
where
listen.
you're looking at the replay and you're
I'm
seeing if
I'm
the ball was
seeing-
still on the fingertip.
Check the tape, you'll be wrong.
Yeah, a little
false
premature.
start. Little false start. Yeah.
I'm sure you would be the one to know, Greg.
Yeah. Well, I'm a radio professional. Not that this is radio, but you get my drift.
Close enough. We're going to welcome in Dianna Russini from The Athletic. She joins us for her weekly hit. Now, Dianna, usually you come on, you give us lots of great knowledge, and then Tony does his top 5 later on in the show, and he claims that you've stolen all of his material. And so today we're going to do something a little different.
Okay.
We're going to let Tony do his top 5 first, but Tony right now is going to deliver it live on location from outside the America Business Forum. That's where President Trump is going to be here tomorrow. That's why there was all the traffic that made Greg late, uncommonly late today. So, Tony, you're out there right now. The crowds still haven't started arriving, but it's happening. You ready to give our top 5?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. There's a couple people camped out right now. I'm here in the parking lot waiting for saying I need credentials to be here. I'm outside of the Crescea Center. Like, I'm good.
You're on.
I gotta pack it up and go. I'm not good here.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Seems like Seems like credentials are needed for this
You're
spot.
outside
so I'm gonna
on a
have to,
public
I'm gonna have to
street.
move, guys.
I know
public
where you are. You're across the street.
I'm across the street.
Tell him, yeah.
Doesn't matter. You gotta leave now. Right
Mention my name.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Zaslow.
No, that's not my name. You have to
Okay.
It's not my name.
Okay. All right, guys. All right.
All right.
Go
Well,
to Dianna. Go to
okay.
Dianna.
Well, I guess
have to figure
Diana's
it
going to
out.
have to do hers first then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great.
Shocking. So, Diana, see, he doesn't have the clout that you had. You were in the
God bless
lobby of a
America.
hotel yelling, had your volume on high. Nobody told you anything. Tony can't even ask
he just
a question.
kept working, moving, knew what I was doing. Like he needs some type of credential there. Usually, you just point to your face. You go, "This is the credential."
Right?
Right? That's what you're supposed to do. That's a famous story in sports. That's what the big dogs do. They just, this is it. This gets me the access. Not for me, but I feel bad for him. I've been there a million times where you're just trying to do your job. Tony's just trying to give us the news, but I'm gonna come save him. So this actually worked out good.
Yeah, awesome. So we're here in Miami. Obviously, the big story this week was the firing of Chris Greer, the trading of Jalen Phillips. What can you tell us as far as not necessarily the timing of the firing, but the fact that it wasn't a clean sweep with him and Mike McDaniel?
First of all, this is the first time I've ever done a show without Dan.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
The vibes are very different, guys.
You know
Better
what?
or
You guys know this? Dianna Russini's first day at ESPN, me and her met
Yep.
in the basement
Yep.
of Building 0, was it? Or Building...
He's like building 3,
Building
and you were
3.
like,
There shouldn't be building 0,
Run.
right? Like, what are we doing with that?
So me and Dianna go way back. That's why the vibe is
Hold on,
different.
I'm writing down that piece of trivia. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
way back. Yeah, you were so. By the way, you were great. You're so nervous. You're nervous your first year at ESPN. Forget your first day, right?
dude,
It's
it was
just-
your first day. You were nervous. I've
know.
been there.
So they had me doing these like digital shows, which at the time was considered like the lowest level of like appearances, and they had hired me for SportsCenter, and I was just like waiting for like the call up. So they put me in like the basement, like literally the basement. And I'd be like, what am I doing down here? And you would be so nice and be like the guest after you would do the big shows to just sit with me. And I didn't know what I was doing. And you would just like power through, and you essentially were hosting and doing the analysis for me because I couldn't handle it. So thank you for doing 2 jobs at once. I somehow made it upstairs though eventually.
my pleasure. Your talent got you upstairs. You were awesome. Also, Mike's like, it's deadline day. What are we doing? You know what we're doing? We're humanizing.
Stop humanizing.
Yeah, these are people. These are human beings.
She's an NFL insider, and right now, NFL insiders are the most popular people on the planet. I'm not sure if you've seen your timeline, but the discourse is crazy, and people are supporting Dianna's line of work. Dianna, what do you make of this? It's been a week worth of dialogue here. Pablo actually did make some sense in the clip that I saw about journalism, and my main takeaway is, why are we just so accustomed to every source being anonymous? We know where this is coming from. This seems like a ridiculous practice. So where are you on the current discourse?
Okay, first,
that's your deadline question.
For those that were listening and heard the Miami question, I can sum it quickly, right? So Chris Grier gets fired. There is belief that the head coach is still the right guy. They really believe that he has not lost the locker room. I know last time we talked about this and Greg was asking me for specific examples on why I thought the team was giving up on him, and I didn't have any good ones. And I wound up making some calls. I was actually really glad he pinned me down on it because I made some calls after the show, and even I wrote about it in my column that week that the players were still bought in, and he hasn't, and they still think he's the right guy. So look, it's going to come down to Stephen Ross making this decision, but this isn't one of these situations where I have a date circled on my calendar like, oh, if he doesn't win this many games, he's getting fired. They're trying to get him through the season, and I think when the new GM comes in, then they'll have heavier discussions. But so far, I'm not super concerned about Mike. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's the intel I have for now. As for the narratives, the conversations, these very strong opinions from hot takers and analysts and consumers of news, I feel like there's 2 camps right now. There's people that just want the information and they don't care if I say per my mailman or, per my dog, right? They don't care. I have really good friends of mine that I respect who like the fake accounts too. They're like, whatever, if they know something and they have a scoop because the guy at the deli told them, great. They just want the information. And then there's another camp of they don't really care about the information as much as who's giving it to the reporters. That seems to be the hang up. And I think agents are the most hated people in our space because they're trying to control obviously the money and the perception of their clients, and they use us. But most of us don't just rely on agents. The transaction game is vapor, right? Like, you guys know that. It's so stupid. Like, Woj gave me this advice years ago. He's like, do not waste your time on that. And it's true. And by the way, he was the king of it, right? Like, he was like Mr. Transaction. Yeah. But he was sharing that as hey, I learned that once you're all in on the transaction game, you kind of can't get out. I think it's good to do transactions because it shows the audience and the fans that people and you can get the scoop. But I think that the better kind of journalism, and obviously Pablo is a wonderful example of that right now, and really the stuff that we do at The Athletic, not to be all promo of my own company, where we dig a little and we take a little bit more time and we're not as pressed to get it out in that exact moment. Most of the time when I'm tweeting that stuff about transactions, things, and trades, it's my own little psychotic competitiveness. Like, no one at The Athletic's like, go beat Adam or you're fired. They don't care at all. They're like, tell us why. Mm-hmm. Explain, pull back the curtain a bit. So from the luxury of that, that's a wonderful place. It's why I love working where I do. But at the same time, there is a rat race to this. People love the info, and it's awesome to win. So I think the original question was, Mike, do we have to keep saying per source when it's so obvious who we're talking to, right? I think until people are comfortable just admitting that they talk to us, because that's the problem. Like, I was at a game on Sunday. I was at the Giants San Francisco 49ers game. The people I talk to the most from both those teams won't even wave to me. Like, they don't even want to look my way because they're so paranoid to be seen as the one that talked to me. So that's why I always laugh. Like if you see me talking to somebody, they definitely don't text me. Like they don't talk to me. They don't give me any scoop. Like it's almost like you're better off being around me because then it's a way of protecting yourself.
Dianna, how active are the Dolphins still today after the Jalen Phillips trade?
Active. They're taking calls. They're obviously not buyers. But teams around the league have an understanding that they are willing to listen on a lot of players, almost every player. I don't think they're going to make all these deals, but I think the tone there has changed over the last few days or so where more teams are calling them knowing, okay, maybe it's a different business venture now that Chris Greer is no longer there.
Dianna, Washington is dealing with injuries. Jaden Daniels is hurt again. Do you think we're going to see a fire sale from the Commanders?
I don't. I think they're going to definitely sell. I don't think they're selling at a cheap price to just move on to next season. No. They were looking for a pass rusher over the last few weeks. They're not giving up on this season, but it's been a weird one, right? Like they're that team that we're going, little black cloud, right? Between them and the San Francisco 49ers. I just feel like they can't catch a break, especially, in terms of the injury situations there. They've got these older players. Obviously, we've discussed Dan Quinn and his decision to keep Jaden in the game. They're just, for a team that was so electric last year and I think had a lot of potential to be good, things are just not swinging their way. But I don't think this is an organization that's like, let's just sell it all off. I think right now they're trying to keep this thing intact.
Another team that seems to be falling apart is the Cincinnati Bengals. Me and Zaz had a lot of fun yesterday listening to Jamar Chase.
Offense and defense are going to fight.
Yeah, like they hate each other. They hate each other. They're openly war of words in the media against each other. There's no way that this whole thing stays together, right, in Cincinnati?
And it's so bad. That's to me, like, forget reporting and press conferences. When it's individual players essentially taking passive aggressive and sometimes just aggressive shots at each other, it's the worst of the worst, right? Because that just tells you the culture, and that means from the top down, it's not good. And they know it. I talk to people in Cincy, like the players know, like it's been a hard year for them, and obviously Joe Burrow is the center of all of this, and he kind of represented the hope of, if we could just get through, and Joe will get back. And timelines with injuries, as you guys know, it's so hard to predict. Like, great, awesome. In most cases, coming off a turf toe injury, surgery, you're back in this many weeks. But look at Brock Purdy. He didn't even have surgery. He's got the turf toe. He was expected to be back like 4 weeks ago. He's still not playing, right? So like you just never know. So I never liked this theory that, let's just get through these games and then Joe can save the day, because that wasn't a fact. So I think for now, Cincinnati is listening. They're taking calls. Trey Hendrickson's the biggest name right now in terms of teams calling, trying to gauge the scenario. As of yesterday, they were still looking for a first-round pick in exchange for him. But I can tell you, other teams that I've been talking to this morning, and even later yesterday afternoon, they think they're going to lower their price. They think they're going to drop that on Trey. We'll see if they do it. This is other teams predicting what the Bengals will do. This isn't the Bengals telling me this. So we'll see if they change their price for Trey and move on from him. It would make sense for them to do it.
Diane, I got one more on the Dolphins and Mike McDaniel. The fact that it appears that Mike McDaniel could be the coach still next season for the Dolphins, is it possible then that Stephen Ross believes that Tua is the problem?
Oh yeah, I think it's very fair. I think that's going to be, without a doubt, the story of the offseason of what will they do with Tua? Is this the right marriage? Right? Is he the right quarterback for Mike McDaniel? If this is the direction they want to go in, right? Like, what I want to know is what happened, right? Like, Tua got paid, which he deserved it, and something changed. And what happened internally, and I think that's going to be stuff we'll be digging on over the next few weeks.
I'll tell you exactly what happened.
What?
Ace Hardware, 13 times 3 equals panini sandwich. Hello. Oh, sorry, CTE kicked in again. It's the fun CTE, though. It's the fun kind.
What are we seeing today, Dianna? It's deadline day.
Yeah, let's get down to business.
Occasionally, over the last couple of years, we've seen some wild ones. Which contenders are going to make moves? Is there a surprise name out there that might get moved?
No, it's not as sexy as I wanted it to be. I thought it had a shot like 2 weeks ago. I thought maybe there'd be a big name player. If AJ Braun maybe kept tweeting, who knows? I was thinking maybe there would be an opportunity, but Philly has shut that down despite teams calling. So that story's over. And other than that, I mean, pass rusher is the position that a lot of teams are looking into. There was a time where I thought maybe Minnesota would make a move at quarterback, depending on how J.J. McCarthy played. Obviously, he played very well, so that's off the table. They're sticking with him and sticking with who they've got there. But I had this conversation with the general manager a couple days ago. The needs are there on every team. Every general manager is swimming in the waters today, and they're casting their pole in the water to try to catch something. But if there's no fish that are worth it, you just don't do it. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of executives who are afraid to make moves. They are. They're afraid to look bad. They're afraid to lose the trade. The best ones that I've been around over the years, they don't care. They don't care about the report card. They're just trying to make their team better. And the teams that are already very aware of what they are, right? Teams that we assume are going to be making the playoffs and by math, by those calculations are pretty almost guaranteed at this point. It's close to it. They're trying to get better in any area. There's no specific position. Just like if there's a good player that we can find, we're going to go get them. I just don't think there's anyone. Max Crosby's not available. Myles Garrett's not available. The ones that you want to see get moved that would be blockbuster just aren't there. So we've got a few hours left. You never know, right? I feel like I got to always put that out there because God knows with the luck of this show, while I'm on it, What would be the trade that I would just quit? Like I probably would never come back on. Like what could happen right now that would make you go, oh man, she just looked bad there.
Mahomes, wow.
Mahomes getting moved for Tua.
Semi-realistic.
There you go.
And then
to where? To Cleveland?
No, Mahomes for Tua, and then Tua blowing up with the Chiefs, and then running the table. That you should quit after that. If that happened, I would quit. I would be like, never mind.
If it was during the show too.
Oh my God! How great would that be?
It happens. In fact, I thought about it last night. I'm like, I think I'm going to text Dan and cancel and push it to Wednesday because something always happens when I'm focused on this show. And see, as my phone rings, don't worry, it wasn't anyone.
Well,
no.
there could be the opportunity for something crazy happening because the Cowboys lost late last night, and Jerry Jones said at the beginning of the season he wouldn't put it past himself to actually use what he received in the Micah Parsons trade to go out and acquire somebody else. So if there is a team to go out and do something desperate at the deadline, Dallas' season's teetering on the edge. Do you see them doing something drastic?
No, I don't. And they made that move this morning. It's funny. You look at the Cowboys defense and they're like, oh, let's do this. Let's trade with a team whose defense is worse than ours. This doesn't make any sense to me. But look, Jerry said to my face he wasn't going pass rush, like on the record. And I know, like,
well, in that case,
take it for what it is.
Yeah, in that case, write it in stone.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's like it's not like other people when you get them on the record. It's just like he could change his mind today. So look, I don't know a name right now that they're targeting that they've been calling. I know the Jets have been receiving a bunch of phone calls for some of their players on defense. Quinnen Williams is a name I've been hearing a lot over the last few hours as someone a bunch of teams are targeting. Jeffrey Simmons is a guy that teams want. Titans aren't moving him. So again, I think Jerry would like to make I can sense he wants to do something, but Micah Parsons isn't available.
Dianna, two-part follow-up on the Dolphins again. Champ Kelly's interim GM, fairly inexperienced at the job, Any chance he can work his way into that job, or are they definitely going to replace him? And number two, how does the Tua conundrum play out? Is there a trade market for him? Aren't they stuck with him next year based on the guaranteed money? How does that play out?
Yeah, from what I understand, Champ is there right now to keep this ship riding and to keep them afloat. He obviously has experience doing it before. He's been an interim. But as I'm sure you guys have seen reported, Stephen Ross has a heavy hand in this, and he's part of all the conversations that are being had. Not that he wasn't before, by the way. He's one of those owners that likes to know what's going on. But I definitely think it's more of he needs to approve all of these trades. From talking to some teams that have talked to Miami over the last few days, of there's a little bit more of a process there than what it was before. So I do think they're going to go try to find a general manager. You never know. Maybe Champ does some great work over the next few weeks, but I don't think they're in a position right now where they think anyone internally. By the way, this goes back to the head coaching situation. There was a time where, when things were really bad for the Dolphins, and I was having a conversation with someone there, and they were like, well, who's going to be the interim here? Everyone wants us to fire people, but it's not like you've got these great coaches all over the place. It's not easy to find to just fill in that gap. So to get to the Tua part of this, Greg, this is going to be what the new regime is going to have to discuss and figure out what they want, right? And look, I think there's people in that building that have already made up their mind about him, which I think there's some people there that still believe in him. And I think there's some people there that would be fine with moving on from Tua if there's a market for him and if it's available. And if there's a team that would trade for Tua. Every time I've done these kind of stories where, it's, mid-fall and you think, oh, this guy stinks, no one's going to want him. Well, it changes a lot in the offseason when you've got these teams desperate for a quarterback and Tua doesn't seem so bad. So we'll see how this plays out in the offseason, but that is for sure outside what the futures of this head coach and, what the general manager will be. The Tua question is holding them back for sure.
She's a senior NFL insider at The Athletic and the host of the Scoop City podcast. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, wherever you get podcasts. Dianna, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for being so nice to me on my first day. Yeah. And I got to say, I don't think I missed Dan today.
Humanizing. That's what we do here. All right, we go straight from Dianna out to Tony on location, different location, to give us his top five, Tony's top five. Tony, where are you joining us from? They made you move. That's office.
I am probably the closest. Yeah, I'm closest part that we could be here to the Kaseya Center, where we do not need a credential, which is literally in the corner of the office.
Mike,
but seeing the Kaseya Center over my left shoulder.
What the hell, man?
What are you laughing at?
He's literally standing right there, right outside that door.
No, he's not.
No, that's
he's not.
True.
He's not that
that's
close.
Not true.
Like
That is not true.
I can tell that window anywhere.
Oh my God. Can you read me? Can you read me number one?
Where are you at?
Dispute continuously playing terrible football. That says dispute, not dispute.
Autocorrect.
Despite continuously playing terrible football, the Jags are 5-3 somehow.
True or not true?
I can't get over the spelling.
Yeah, it's autocorrect. That was whatever.
Tony, I was at that stadium this weekend where the Jaguars play. Everbank Stadium, that place is a dump.
Oh, hard?
Yeah, it's bad, but make sure that you connect with my people when you're in my turf, by the way. Jacksonville's my city.
You got to check
904 stand up. Duval County stand up. Yeah, you got to check in with my people.
Let me tell the people that
making sure you know that, player.
This top five is presented by Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the National Football League. Smirnoff, please drink responsibly. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Vodka, 40% alcohol by volume.
All right, Tony, what's your?
That was just a little taste of the OLI.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just a little taste of the OLI. Here's the rest. So I got 3 OLIs after that, and then after my top 5.
Okay.
So we'll get 1, 2, 3 OLIs quick. Here we go. Say what you want about the Bengals defense. They're always in exciting games. I know Zaz wanted to pit the offense against the defense yesterday with Chase Brown's comments.
I didn't want to. I'm just speaking the truth.
For the Bengals. Okay, that might be your truth, not my truth. My truth is the Bengals are always in exciting games. Thank you to the defense. We should be saying thank you to the Bengals defense, not chastising them. Jonathan Zaslow.
Interesting.
Can hardly see the Casey
Nobody's having
Center.
that
Yes,
take.
you
I
can.
can
It's
barely
right
see
there
it.
over his
I
left
see the
shoulder.
road
Don't be
sign.
ridiculous.
It's right there.
Yeah. We see the Port
Anyways.
of Miami little signs.
Okay, all right. Whatever.
All right, go on. What are your OLIs?
OLI number 3. No one has more ugly wins than the Denver Broncos.
Yeah? Sure?
I don't think that can be disputed.
No.
Disputed.
No. Or despite it.
or despite it.
He said disputed.
Next OLI.
Guys, I'm rattled. My bad. All right, stop me if you've heard this one before. Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Who cares? Biggest who cares of all time.
It's a good game,
Beat
man.
the Chiefs in the regular season. Good. Yeah, sure. Good game. It's always a good game. They always win by 7. They win by 3.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then they get beat in the playoffs. It's the same thing.
Yeah, Bills are 5-1
Boring.
against Mahomes in the regular season with Allen. They're winless in the playoffs. Who
Tony's
cares?
rattled like Mike Ryan after a
Everybody
Skype
who
call.
bet money on the Bills. Everybody who bet money on the Bills.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jim. All right, number 5. Number 5, the Packers are on fraud watch.
Oh.
Keep an eye on the Packers. They're on fraud watch.
You lose to
Yeah,
Carolina.
big time. Yeah, I mean,
At home, right? That
Even though
was-
Carolina's sneaky 5-4. Yeah.
Sneaky decent?
3-1 since Dan said their season was over.
Or the Carolina
Look at the
Panthers
throw
for real?
that John. That no, they're not for real, but they're dead as Dan said after they won. They've gone 3-1 since then, like Jeremy said. Look at the picture on the screen right now. This is a throw that Jordan Love had to nobody.
Yeah.
To somebody in the opposite jersey. With the game on the line, Packers. Jordan Love throwing an absolute prayer, a goose up. Yeah, they're on fraud watch for me.
When does Toyotathon start, though? Because that's when we know Jordan Love
It's been
really gets
going
things
on.
It has?
Wow.
No, it starts. I think it starts late October
No,
into
they're
December.
screwed then. I'll
So I think
check
we're-
those dates, but
I think we're
if
starting-
that's the case, they're screwed.
Next.
Yeah. Number 4.
Okay.
Rams and the 49ers quietly at 6 wins each. Nobody's talking about these teams. But quietly, Rams and 49ers, both Rams and 49ers quietly at 6 wins.
Rams
not
might be
going.
the best team in the league.
Yeah.
I'm not going quietly, though. I feel like every week you talk about McCorkle doing something. Like, oh, my God,
Stafford.
he's got him going.
Stafford, quiet MVP.
I know.
Conversation?
I'm telling
He's
you,
in the
thank you, Greg.
conversation?
Yes.
He walked in the bar, and guess what he ordered?
Bottle service? Oh,
Yeah.
that means he's in it.
Huge news,
Yes,
Tony.
sir. Got a couple
Huge
bottles of
news.
Smirnoff.
Huge news for the Packers. Toyotathon starts mid-November.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Mid-November. I thought it was mid-October. Okay. Good to hear. Number 3, OLI, Tony's top 5, number 3. Weird how the Cardinals look so much better and more competent with Jacoby Brissett. It's weird, isn't it? Did I tell you that Kyler Murray sucked like 5 weeks ago? And now just the fruit are bearing the fruit are bearing everywhere. It's abundance of Jacoby Brissett. Even though he won their first game since their like 5-game skid, the point being they look better, they look more competent.
Fruit or bearing, huh?
Everywhere.
Fruit or berry?
Dispute
Everywhere.
Jacoby Brissett's incredible performance on Monday night.
Uh-huh.
They do have a franchise quarterback there that hasn't done anything to really lose the job.
Have you not, do you have eyes? Do you have eyes? Like he's hasn't been good in like a couple of seasons. If you want me to be real honest with you.
What more
But
does
it's okay.
Jacoby Brissett have to do? He's done this so many places now. It's like, is he ever going to break out of that backup kind of break glass in case
This
of
might be the
emergency?
final spot. I mean, your hometown team,
There you go.
the Arizona Cardinals, right in Phoenix, right at the big toaster. Okay, this might be the stop where Jonathan Gannon says, you know what? I kind of like the way that the offense moves with Jacoby Brissett better than it does with Kyler Murray. Who does Kyler Murray make better? Is it Marvin Harrison Jr.? No. Is it Trey McBride? No. Like Michael Wilson? Does he make Michael Wilson better? The second wide receiver? Sure. Okay, great. Kyler Murray doesn't make anybody better. Jacoby Brissett comes in. Trey McBride looks like an all-world tight end. Marvin Harrison Jr. finally starts getting things
McBride
going.
always
Like,
looked good.
McBride, yes,
No.
McBride was made better by
guys,
Kyler Murray.
no. Oh, Mike. Oh, no, Mike. Don't do that to
Mike.
yourself.
McBride
Don't do that to-
was
please look
one
at
of the more
splits.
productive tight
Please
ends.
don't
Like,
do it to
he's
yourself,
just
Mike.
getting he's
Guys,
just getting into the
the
end
splits.
zone.
Mike,
No, Tony's
Mike,
right.
Mike, you know what you're
Guys,
doing?
McBride's always
the
been great.
splits are terrible, Mike. You're showing your ass, Mike. I didn't want to do that,
You're doing it to
man.
yourself,
Terrible.
Mike,
No,
I like you,
Mike,
Mike.
we
I'll
warned
find
you.
those
He
splits
just
for you.
doesn't get
Mike,
into
I
the end
like
zone,
you.
Kyler, but he's one of the best tight ends in the league with Kyler.
You know, this is Tony's top 5.
Oh,
I don't want to hear from you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. All right. Number 2. Calawasa for our favorite Cinderella QB. Put him up on the screen. Danny Dimes. A terrible, terrible game against the Steelers. Calawasa for my Gringo family members over there in the studio means pumpkin.
Oh.
And the saying in Spanish is calabaza, todo mundo pa la casa, which means pumpkin, everybody home, right? And that's obviously a play on Cinderella, where the pumpkin to the carriage turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
So we're looking at pumpkin time right now instead of apple time, pumpkin time for Danny Dimes.
You know,
potentially
the Kardashians live in Calabaza, California.
they do. Good for you. But the thing is, I didn't mean that for you though. You're honorary Cuban.
Of course.
Congrats.
You've been to the Kendall Flannies. You know what's up.
Oh, my God.
Take me back.
Oh, one more time, man.
You've been to the Kendall Flannies.
I need like a zip line from the top of the Elsa straight to Kendall. Just all the way down there. Land at the Flanagans.
Be a crowded zip line.
It's like, where is Amin? Oh, there he is. just flying down the Dolphin Expressway. All right, number 1, Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year. I'm saying it here in week 9. Coach of the Year, Mike McDonald.
Mike
Shout
McDonald,
out to him.
Yamo be there.
Yep.
What a fool believes.
Coach of the Year.
I can't get
Shout out to the Seahawks playing really good ball. Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year. That's Tony's top 5, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's presented by Smirnoff. Shout out to Smirnoff.
For Tony, I have the splits. So under Jacoby Brissett, Trey McBride's stats.
We lost him. He's not going to be
An
here for another
average
hour.
of just about 7 catches per game for 64 yards and almost 1 touchdown per game.
And who was that with?
That's Jacoby Brissett. Under Kyler Murray, the average is about 5 catches per game for 52 yards and 0.1 touchdowns per
It's
game.
a touchdowns.
So it's about a 15-yard difference, a couple more catches, and obviously like the touchdown rates are way higher.
That's
with
a
Brissett.
lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, it's
You did it to yourself, Mike.
2 catches a
Mike,
game is
I
a lot.
Based off those stats, you guys oversold.
You
like,
did.
How crazy
It's
the
a.
splits
You're
were.
talking about a 3-game sample with Jacoby
Right.
Brissett.
Yeah, he's not
5
good.
game sample.
Mike,
5
You're
games.
So, okay,
How many
that's still
games
a
with
small
Kyler
sample.
Murray?
The touchdowns will come down. Like, if the
A
argument
lot
is
of
like
games
Kyler
with Kyler
Murray
Murray.
does not just Trey McBride wastes away with Kyler Murray, it's not true.
Wildly overstated.
How
the
about
splits.
Kyler Murray right now, today, within the next couple of hours? The Washington Commanders trade for him.
wow.
I don't know why they would do it.
Hop on
I like it. I like this game.
Hop
But
on a
it's fun.
bird, go to Spain. We're playing the Dolphins, Kyler.
They built the offense for Jaden Daniels. You can run around, right? It's better than Marcus Mariota, and then maybe they got a shot in that division.
And long flight, you know what you do?
You learn the playbook.
No, Call of Duty, baby. What you talking?
All right,
Learn
we're
the
talking about Kyler
playbook.
Murray. What are we doing?
Did we look up the splits or not?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
2 more catches per game,
It's
about
not that
15
great.
more yards per game, and the touchdown rate is
a lot.
So
0.8
it's plus all
touchdowns.
across the
Yeah,
board.
no, it's
Every
better in
single
every
thing
single
is
With
better.
category.
5 games with Brissett.
Okay. Do you want to?
Tony, you know what they're doing?
What?
They're doing it to themselves.
I'm trying to
They
tell you.
continue to do
39
it to
games
themselves,
with Kyler
despite
Murray.
being warned.
He was a pro.
How many
Yeah.
touchdowns? How many touchdowns?
It's yeah, but my argument was it's just a touchdown.
But then why isn't Kyler Murray looking for his best weapon in the red zone to score touchdowns? Why is that not happening? Why did he have a touchdown last year of a fumble recovery before he caught an offensive
Especially in that stadium where they have a big sign that says red zone.
Kyler Murray has like 1-2 touchdown game. The numbers like fly up.
He's not good, guys. There's a reason why he's not going to play.
That's
But
not
you
the
overstated
conversation we're
the splits.
having.
The splits
you know
were
what?
overstated.
I'm bored.
Okay, so let's talk about
I'm
AI.
out.
Let's talk about AI because I downloaded Sora and it sucks.
What is that?
Sora is the people who make ChatGPT made this app where you can create AI videos. Ooh. Yeah, you scan your face, you say some phrases, and now you can make AI videos of yourself. You can make AI videos of anything, really. And so I was messing around with it, and I said something along the lines of, hey, man on the street interviewing 3 Miami Heat fans, ask them, what do you want the Heat to do? They all yell out, get Ja. And then I said, the interviewer follows up with, why do you think they should get Ja? And one fan says, because this is Miami and we get stars, baby. The second fan says, because he's got the hottest shoe in the game. And the third fan says, because you can always use more shooters. Pretty simple, right? This dumbass app could never get that to happen. I kept getting like the interviewer would then answer his own question. I got a guy who had glasses appear midway through his answer. I'm talking about just he's talking to you and all of a sudden he's got glasses on.
I like it.
I've got one where the interviewer's asking the question and the third fan is mouthing the question as the guy is saying it.
I like it.
It's so goofy. I'm like, this is never going to replace anything of note.
Well, it sounds like it was so bad that it was good, though.
I mean, I did laugh.
Yeah.
I did laugh. I also had one where I'm sitting courtside and I threw up on Media Row. But
and you threw up?
Yeah, I made it.
Like Tracy Morgan?
Yeah, like that. But on Media Row, right? So everyone's laptops are there or whatever.
You puked on people's computers?
In this AI video, yes.
Was it realistic vomit?
The vomit was realistic. The depiction of me was not. They have me
Can I
like
see it?
225 pounds. Yeah, I could show. We're not gonna do this on air. I'm not gonna give them that kind of.
I want to see a mean puking on Media Row.
Oh no, it's a good one. I'll show you in the break. I don't want to. I don't wanna disrupt the flow. But like, I just kept thinking about all the people who are like they're gonna replace actors and stuff. I'm like, they're never gonna be able to replace human acting with AI.
Sora is good if you give it the grace that it deserves for a very low kind of fi app.
Why is it called Sora?
I don't know.
Why is anything called anything? Why is Apple called Apple?
Why are you called Zaslow?
Why are you called Zaslow?
Seriously.
That's your name, right?
Why is it called a microphone?
Yeah.
Really? That's what we're doing?
That kind of thing. What do you not get?
Exactly.
It's been a weird show, Zaz.
Well
I don't know
put,
what to tell you.
So the
You're
point
doing it to
being-
yourself again, Mike.
Yeah, you are doing it to yourself.
The gymnastics that these two behind me
so
are
It's not
doing,
gymnastics.
trying to get the splits.
You know
They're
what
like,
it's called?
No,
Eye
do the
test.
last 6 games. No, Jeremy, put in this season but minus the last 2 games. It's just like it's close, guys.
This
It's not
season,
that
the
crazy.
stats are better in every single category for Trey McBride with Jacoby Brissett. But in 5 games, it's 29 catches with Kyler, 34 with Jacoby Brissett. It's 275 yards with Kyler. It is 320 yards with Brissett.
Better.
It's like
and
one
then the
big
really
play.
big one is 1 touchdown in 5 games with Kyler, 4 touchdowns in 5 games with Jacoby Brissett.
Better.
It's better in every category. I will say the difference of 5 catches is not gigantic, but it is a catch game.
Let's quit trying to make Jacoby Brissett better than Kyler Murray.
Thank
It
you.
isn't true. Jacoby Brissett's a career
I
backup.
got him back.
He was bad with the Dolphins.
I got
We
him
had
back.
him down here,
Yeah.
and he
Oh,
was our
he's
backup,
I'm
and he
bored.
stunk.
I'm bored. I
You
want to
were
talk
just
Sora.
interested for a second.
I'm
We
gonna
had
talk
you.
Sora.
The hook got in your.
The interesting part is that right now they just won at Dallas, and they're not maximizing. Now they lost a game that didn't have much to do with Kyler. That had to do with DeMarcado's drop and the insane play that Tennessee made. But they're at it appears to be a crossroads with Kyler Murray where they have to decide. And truthfully, like Jacoby Brissett, historically he's been a solid enough quarterback that everyone's like, this is a prime backup. If he's ever given the opportunity to be QB1 again, I know he briefly had one in Cleveland, but if he's able to take that from a young quarterback and you fully endorse him, it'd be interesting to see where they go.
Juju, put it on the poll. Who's better, Jacoby Brissett or Kyler Murray?
Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness.
Just a question.
Just a question. I don't think you know how leading the witness works.
Hi, this is Rose. I thought we were going to dress because yesterday was Halloween, and I ended up being the only one dressing up. Yeah, so according to my calculations, this is very embarrassing.
Hi, Dan. Happy Halloween. This is a special off-roading, spooky, spectacular Halloween edition because what is scarier than coming back to Columbus, Ohio, the spot where our dear Rose was pepper sprayed? Well, it turns out we actually did find something scarier, something spookier. It's that Rose is the only person dressed up, and she looks certifiably insane because getting pepper sprayed is bad. Being the peak of social embarrassment might be worse.
Great Scott! What do you think I'm dressed as?
Rick from Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rika from Rick and Morty. It could be that, but no.
Dr. Douche.
Doofenshmirtz. No! What do you think I'm dressed as?
Albert Einstein.
I will take that. I will take Albert Einstein, but no. What do you think I'm dressed as?
A Labubu.
I don't know what that is.
would you rate my friend Rose's costume here?
Einstein is 10 out of 10.
Not Einstein.
M equals MC square, or E equals MC square. I remember that back in high school. Go Bucks! Go Bucks! Go Bucks! And we just got to remember that if it wasn't for Einstein, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have the technological advancements to be here.
World War II.
We might have, if anything, we might not be defending the shoe. You know what I mean? Instead without him, you know?
Yeah, that was lovely. She's not dressed as Einstein.
Oh, okay, sorry. Just a crazy scientist, I'm assuming?
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Something that works. Do you want to come see it?
In our handyman business, we get called out to fix flux capacitors all the time. If it wasn't for Marty McFly and what they did in Back to the Future, I wouldn't be in business, okay? Let me just put it that way. So shout out to Halloween, shout out to Marty McFly, shout out to every scientist that's in America, because if it wasn't for you guys, who knows where I'd be?
How are we doing just sort of mentally right now?
Mentally, I mean, we're trying to just figure out the lay of the land. This is so much different than Penn State. Where's the tailgates? Like, where's the tailgates?
The vibes are a little bad.
Vibes are a little bad. Not even just as a Penn State.
I haven't seen a single 30 rack being carried yet. I'm honestly really disappointed. They don't carry alcohol around here. Where's the alcohol?
Would you say you're the biggest college football fan?
No, I'm just one of millions and millions of Buckeye fans and college fans.
Well, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to award you the biggest college football fan because, yeah.
For me to say that I'm the biggest and the best, that's not for me to say. That's for you to say.
Exactly. So now I'm saying it. So what is a Buckeye?
Man, let me tell you something. The Buckeyes are proud American. And also, we have Buckeye nuts that grow on trees.
Oh, so it's a nut.
Yes.
And is it poisonous?
Well, you already know the answer to the question if you ask it.
OH.
I know.
That's the way we go.
Yes.
This trip to Columbus was presented by Fox One. Stream your favorite live sports on the Fox One app and download today. What's scarier, losing to Penn State today or losing to Michigan again?
Oh, Michigan all the way.
Michigan again.
They're mad. 4 years. They haven't won in, 2,163 days. This is our second home. We use this as a vacation home. This is Ann Arbor the second.
Do you guys have someone you would like for Penn State to hire as their head coach?
Joe Brady.
Does anyone miss James Franklin out of this crew?
Yes.
No comment.
No. Not really. No.
What do you think James Franklin went as for Halloween this year?
Probably himself because he has a big ego.
Unemployed.
Not a costume.
I mean, it's a fact.
What do you think Ryan Day was for Halloween?
Probably Crybaby. One of those big blow-up suits, Crybaby.
When we go, we don't need roads.
Who's the scariest team in college football that's not Ohio State?
Oregon.
Indiana.
They're good.
They're good.
They're real good.
They're real good. Kirk Signetti.
He's the man.
Google him.
Google him. If you want to go to a college football game, maybe even a UNC game, download the Game Time app and use code Lucy for $20 off your first order. Terms apply. It's spooky.
Days and 2 hours, we're going to be there.
Dan, given the number of firings that I have been a part of recently, I was a little worried about credentials for this one. But I was like, no worries, we'll go to Columbus, we'll have a good time. I tried to walk into the stadium, they have this hanging up. They have this hanging up. Thank God they picked such a pretty picture of me. But guess they want to keep Ryan Day around here. All the gates are locked and they won't let me in. Cause what, I'm too pretty? That's not cool. Cause what, I might get your head coach fired? What do you think's going on in there? I feel like I'm being bullied, maybe discriminated against for being too funny. Is it because I'm wearing white? Do you think they're not letting me in because they saw how Rose was dressed? Michigan would never. Well, it turns out Penn State did need James Franklin to lose to Ohio State. They could do it with an interim, too.
We welcome in Lucy, who's heading to Boone, North Carolina Thursday night for App State's matchup with Georgia Southern. A little good FCS.
I love
action.
Boone, North
No,
Carolina.
they're FBS.
Oh, they FBS?
Yep, Group of 5 action.
It's one of the best towns in the country.
You're still going Group of 5? I call Group of 6 now, Lucy.
Oh, I always call it Group of 5. I still
Okay.
call it Power 5, even though I know that's wrong.
All right.
Now, what do you know, Zaz?
I'm a college football expert. What's the matter with you?
He does. He flies every weekend and sometimes rides a bus.
Oh, it's one time.
Lucy, how long was that picture of you folded up in your pocket? Because it was so creased.
Well, we did like a bit where we were like trying to throw it at me, so it looked like it was like blowing through the wind, and it went so poorly, so we had to like crumble it up into a ball like 6 or 7 times, and the bit didn't even work, didn't even make the video.
I love it. All right, so Lucy, we've got the college football playoffs about to be
tonight.
They're going to
First
release
rankings.
the first rankings, and they made a big dog and pony show out of releasing this video of them hanging their hats. And so this sparked great controversy and conversation in the office. We were like, doesn't that mean that they're going to be partial?
Right,
Because
you would think that they would be putting their team hats on but no, they are hanging the hats of just the college football playoff logo. So essentially they're saying they're putting aside their
They're hanging up their neutrality.
Yeah.
Everybody's so old.
Me too.
They all look the same. They all look exactly the same.
How will they know which one was their hat?
Maybe that's a
Good
great
point.
question. Maybe it's like a national anthem type of deal where they're like, we have to show respect for the college football playoff. Like, you can't have your hat on. But yeah, it completely defeats the purpose if it doesn't have their team on it.
Stupid.
Lucy.
And they definitely were all given the hat the day of.
And the hat rack couldn't look older.
Who's got a hat rack anymore?
Do you?
Nobody.
You don't have a hat rack?
No, hell no.
I have a hat rack.
Do you?
Yeah, it's really funky looking.
Do you have hats on it?
I'm so
I have
surprised.
purses on it.
Nice. Purse rack.
A purse rack. There you go.
Lucy, will there be any juicy storyline that comes out of the first college football playoff rankings tonight?
Well, there are 3 things I'm like looking at particularly. One is I really do think there's a chance Indiana's the number 1 overall team. You're going to kind of figure out sort of how they're evaluating this year's sort of like group of teams where Indiana may not look as good eye test wise as Ohio State, even though I don't really agree with that. Indiana has the best one in the country right now with a road win over Oregon. So what are they going to do with Ohio State, Indiana? What are they going to do with Oregon, whose best win is now against Penn State, which is not as good of a win, and you don't really feel as comfortable with that. And then looking at sort of kind of the mess that's the ACC and the SEC right now. Do you rank Tennessee, who hasn't beat anybody? Where do you put Miami after losing this weekend? I think we'll get a lot of questions answered. This was always one of my favorite days because like everyone gets so mad, and it actually really does matter. We're like the AP poll, I'm just mad at it for no reason.
Lucy, what is America's fascination with Vanderbilt?
I think it's just like I don't want to call them lovable losers because they're not losers anymore. They're winning. I think there's just this sort of like, this is a team that was so bad for so long, and you bring in Diego Pavia, who has this great story of he went to a military college, and then he went to New Mexico State, and now he's at Vanderbilt, and he's come in, and he's striking the Heisman pose, and you saw them this weekend, obviously lose against Texas, but play incredibly competitively, coming back from down double digits to be inches away from recovering an onside kick. That stuff never used to happen to Vanderbilt. I think it's weird to me that sort of like fascination hasn't necessarily, I think, hit the same with Indiana, who's also as historically bad as Vanderbilt, if not worse. But I think it's because Indiana is so dominant and it's just so confusing because like we don't really like, there's sort of an SEC bias with it. But I think it's just, this is a team that was so bad for so long. To see them win is really exciting.
Which fans will be angry tonight, Lucy?
Oh, that's a good question. I think Ohio State fans will be angry because I think they're going to put Indiana number 1. I'm curious to see what happens. I think some SEC fan bases are going to be really angry. I don't think it's going to be Alabama, and I don't think it's going to be Georgia. But I think, and obviously not Texas A&M, but I think that the SEC right now for me is a very difficult conference to evaluate because I think, Mike Ryan, you'll appreciate this. The SEC and the ACC are very similar in the way they're beating each other, but there's a different narrative with both of those conferences. And so for me, I think the SEC is obviously going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you might see teams like Tennessee, who has not beat anybody at all, find their way in a good position when they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I've been on the SEC thing for quite a while, but I want to turn my attention over to the Big Ten because I don't think enough is made out of how bad the bottom third of this conference is. I think you have one of the more impactful games of the weekend, your Iowa Hawkeyes. If Oregon loses this game, the national narrative needs to be they're out. They need to stack wins. Their best win right now is who? Northwestern? This is the second consecutive year, and credit to Indiana because no arguments there. They've done more this year, but they found a way. They found the hack inside that conference, which is don't really play anybody, and if you get 1 to 2 losses, you're in that discussion. Whereas Oregon, really soft schedule this year. Incredibly soft. So what do you think happens this weekend, and what do you think the conversation should be around the Big Ten?
One, I know that me personally, I'm going to be miserable because this game is already ruining my life because I really think Iowa's going to win. And when they don't win, it's going to kill me. This is like a playoff elimination game of some sorts for Oregon. Iowa, theoretically, if they win out the rest of the season, they should be in the playoff. They probably will be in the playoff. That's a stretch that I'm not really ready to take mentally and emotionally quite yet. Yeah, if Oregon loses this game, which, by the way, this is a very, very weirdly good Iowa football team. They're scoring a lot of points. Their defense looks phenomenal. Like, if they lose, it's not a bad loss. But Oregon, I do believe they still have Washington and USC left on the schedule. Those are two teams that could really sort of help your case. I think we're sort of in a little SEC bias mode again. We're like Washington, Iowa. These are teams that probably should be getting a little more praise than they are. So nationally, they don't look as good of wins as they could possibly be, but they are really good wins. But I do think that if Oregon loses this weekend, it's over for them. And it's another team that you look at and objectively what you've said, it's true. It's hard to evaluate how good they are because the only real example we have is them losing by 2 touchdowns to Indiana. Iowa did not lose like that. Iowa was a couple plays away from beating Indiana had their quarterback not gotten hurt. So, like, it's hard to evaluate this game. All I know is that I'm doing mentally really, really poor about it. Like, it's ruining my life.
Keeping it in the Big Ten, Lucy, am I looking at it properly where Michigan, Ohio State, last game of the season is potentially to get to the Big Ten championship?
I don't necessarily. Yes, I think it would be because I don't know who else would be in that conversation. It wouldn't. I think Michigan's got a pretty easy schedule, but like I still don't think they're as great as they're kind of being heralded as. So like if they were to lose another one, it wouldn't shock me. But yeah, this is like almost a de facto playoff elimination game. Which is so awesome, especially given just sort of the narrative of like you cannot lose to them for a 5th straight year, especially with this Ohio State team, which is just as good as last year's Ohio State team. It's going to be so much fun.
Let's talk about the Miami upset over the weekend. Miami once again sitting at 2 losses, both by less than a score. Understandably, today I saw Heather Dinich speak on this. She fully expects Notre Dame to be ranked ahead of Miami, even though head-to-head Miami defeated Notre Dame. A month is an eternity in college football. As we saw with Alabama and Oklahoma last year, there was a really bad loss, and 2 weeks later, everyone's saying, if they're in the tournament, then win the championship. I guess my long-winded question here is, if Miami, I think the hardest thing for them is to actually go 4-0 in the month of November, but if they do, they go 4-0, and they're at a better place at the end of the season, despite not even making it to their conference championship game, the Notre Dame thing is a pickle. Where do you see the CFP
My movie theater
committee?
sells pickles, dog.
Where do you see the CFP siding on this?
I personally don't love when you're ranking a team that beat somebody else ahead of them. Like, I don't think that Notre Dame should be ranked in front of Miami because what you're telling me is that head-to-head matchups don't matter. Why did you even play that game if it doesn't matter? But doesn't matter what I like. I think that, like, it's so tough. I think there's so many extra circumstances with Miami where it really does matter of what happens everywhere else. Like, what if Iowa does win out? Weird enough. That's going to hurt Miami. What happens with Georgia Tech after a really kind of tough loss against NC State this weekend, giving up 40 points to the Wolfpack? Like, there are so many extra circumstances, and I just don't see Miami kind of getting the good end of things because, like we sort of talked about, if it comes down to a 2-loss ACC team or a 3-loss SEC team, I think we all know what direction they're going to go.
Damn, Georgia Tech. What's Haynes King got to do to win Heisman? He's a Heisman, isn't he? He's a front runner.
I don't know. I saw this great tweet. I wish I could remember who said it. It's Haynes King is what people think Diego Pavia is. Like, Haynes King is running out every Saturday, and he's like, I'll die for this team.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll do it. You need me to
Little
play
blood in the
linebacker
urine.
because I will.
No big deal.
He's everything. I love him so much, and he should be in this Heisman conversation because he's like maybe the most college football player ever. Like, I just love him so much.
Like, I know he's got no future. After this,
You're the Georgia Tech guy on this show. Are you emotionally preparing? Because it seems as though down to the AP and the coaches poll, what everybody is doing is projecting the ACC to fall apart, and I get that. But right now they have 3 one-loss teams, all right, that are pretty good, that have played some SEC teams that you can do transitive property with some of the teams that they beat and the results that those teams that were defeated at the hands of the
transitive property?
Transitive property. I think that the ACC, look, if the CFP does its job right, they should look at the ACC where it is right now and avoid the whole temptation of, well, they're going to fall apart.
Dude, I think we did them a favor by losing NC State, because if we were undefeated, first of all, we've been underranked this whole time. Part of my question about Vanderbilt was a little shade on my part. It's like everyone's falling over Vanderbilt, like we're better than them, but like the loss to NC State actually makes it easier for them, I feel like, to dismiss.
What's your good win for Georgia?
It's Clemson.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That team sucks.
I mean, they didn't suck when we beat their ass, though.
No, they did, though.
No, not when we beat their ass.
I don't know. They did.
No, when they beat their ass?
Well, then I guess Florida State sucked when Florida State beat Alabama's ass.
Well, let me tell you something. We beat Florida State's ass last year. That started this whole thing.
What is
Then they were good back then.
All right. You know what? Don't answer the question.
No.
Lucy, same question.
Beat their ass.
Well, that Amin's answer was, have you guys seen that tweet that's going viral of like, look at what Alabama did to preseason number 13, South Carolina. And so everyone's just been quote tweeting it with like, look at what we did against 1998 national champion. Like, whatever. It's very, very funny. I can't even remember what the question was.
Beat their ass is the question.
Are they going to project the ACC falling apart and play into narratives? Or are they going to look at the ACC as a whole where it is right now, which has 3 really, really good teams in it?
I think they're not. I don't think they're going to look at the ACC and be like, this is awesome. I think they're going to look at it with the like, wow, we're at this point, and like Duke is in the conversation and Virginia's in the conversation. I don't think they're necessarily going to look at the ACC and be like, I think that Virginia is better than, Ole Miss or anything like that. I assume they're going to look at the ACC with a very, maybe a 4 teams ranked. I don't think they're going to give them much benefit of the doubt at all, because like I hate to like be this way, but like they are going to push the SEC more than anything, and then it'll be the Big Ten. The Big 12 is messy as it is. I just think the ACC is going to get the short end of the stick, and I do think part of the reason that plays into it is because I think it would be very different if Miami was in Virginia's spot, where like they don't want people to be like, yes, Virginia is here. Like, it just doesn't have the same appeal, even though us real ones know that we want to see Virginia do well. We want to see Chandler Morris have a good season.
Chris, I believe it's time.
Time to get in it. It's Lucy's Internet Minute.
Oh, I love that so much. It never gets old. We have a rare college football Internet Minute that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. We've all seen the Oklahoma kicker, right?
I don't like it.
He is wearing some short shorts.
I love it.
Ridiculous.
People are losing their mind. Kirk Herbstreit was like, I literally thought he was going to.
That's not a football uniform.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
What do you need knee pads for? You're a kicker.
That's
You
a
might
good
have to
point.
tackle somebody.
So?
Also,
Nice
look,
legs,
so
though.
what's our overall takeaway? I'm fine with it. I think, look, if you want to dress a little slutty for your football game, go for it.
Yeah. I hope that this
Amen.
is telling and probably fashion forward and where the sport is going. I really hope for this.
I've seen wide receivers do it. I've seen tight ends. I've seen corners do it. Like, everybody's starting to do it. So
They
this
wear
kicker's not the
socks,
first.
man.
No, not like that. You've never seen it, buddy. You don't see everything.
I see everything.
You don't see everything.
I see. We already did this
I can
yesterday.
guarantee you don't see everything.
We already did this. I see everything. I watch everything.
What happened to the
Sorry for
barefoot
bringing
kicker?
this up. My bad.
Greg Cody, did you not kick your 50-yard field goal barefoot?
I did, yeah.
What about in short shorts?
Yeah. I think those shorts should be even shorter.
Okay.
I mean, why stop
Oh.
there? Ride them
Go a
up.
little
Let's
5-inch
go.
inseam.
That's been Lucy's Internet Minute.
You guys are so horny for college football. It's great.
It's new to me, Lucy. This horniness is new to me. I haven't felt it in like 15 years, 25 years maybe. Yeah.
Haynes King will do that to you.
Oh,
Haynes King
man.
is the
Haynes
exact guy to
King.
do that to you.
Blackest name for a white
It is,
quarterback ever.
it is cute you think Georgia Tech's good.
I mean,
What?
They are good.
I think Georgia Tech's good.
They are good, but their resume, when you really like hold it under a microscope.
You line them up, we knock them down. How about that for a resume?
I have a take. I
Yes?
feel like nobody's resume is good. Nobody's resume is good.
I'll allow it.
Like, tell me the good resumes. Hit me.
Yeah, I mean, you could go Alabama with wins over Vanderbilt,
Texas
Mizzou,
A&M.
Georgia, obviously Texas A&M, but it's also funny that Alabama has, like, right now what might be the worst loss, which is, like, objectively really funny. A&M has a good resume.
That's about it.
Ohio State's undefeated. You only play who you have on your schedule. Like I
Line
feel
them
like,
up, we knock them down.
Ohio State's schedule is like there's nothing left.
I'm sick of this Big Ten. How many years are teams going to get away with this?
They can't keep getting away
They
with
can't.
this.
Like, and it's just like, well, we'll have 3 lost teams in there. We deserve it. That is our birthright because we expanded and added a whole bunch of teams. F out of here. What is this?
If you have a number in the name of your conference, the number has to reflect the number of teams in your conference.
Good take.
Enough.
I second that.
Big Ten?
I get behind that.
Better tell some of these teams to get out of here.
Says the guy with an ACC team with 2 teams in the Pacific Coast.
That's not numbers.
But again, no numbers.
That's not numbers.
Atlantic Coast Conference, but Pacific.
They're all coasts.
And Texas.
I was in Texas in an ACC game.
Sad stadium, by the way.
Still a coast down there.
Teams in the Big 12.
Galveston? Ever heard of Galveston?
Last question. They cheated, right? The refs cheated in Dallas. They cheated. They cheated.
Did you guys see the Clemson Duke call at the end?
Yes, that was brutal.
That was insane.
What happened to the Gators was unfortunate. There's a lot of bad officiating. I got my eyes on Al Riveron. I got my eyes dead on Al Riveron.
It's been a rough year. We went to that Auburn-Georgia game where the officials were so bad they literally had to fire the crew after the game. They're not allowed to ref anymore.
Damn.
Speaking of fired in Auburn, who do you like there? Summerall? Getting a lot of Summerall juice.
Yeah, I think that's where I would go if I were Auburn, but my whole thing is I think that's a smart decision, and because I think it's a smart decision, I know Auburn's not going to make that. There's no way Auburn makes that call. Like, I just don't trust that school to do anything. Hugh Freeze, bad idea from the jump. They hired him because he beat Nick Saban twice, and Nick Saban retired, and there was no point to having Hugh Freeze there.
I definitely think they should hire Summerall just so we can hear him say, Gannon, steps back.
Gannon.
I always thought it was Cannon.
Yeah, it was Gannon.
Yeah, it was
steps
incredible.
back.
No relation, right?
No relation to Gannon and Don Cannon. Or are you talking about the Summeralls? My bad.
Yeah.
Where is Don Cannon right now?
I don't know. Ask Pat Summerall.
We need to find Pablo Torre finds out. Where's Don Cannon?
Lucy is going to be in Boone, North Carolina Thursday night for App State matchup with Georgia Southern. Lucy, thank you very much. There she goes. There she goes again. Yes, Jeremy.
In
you raised
3
your hand.
starts with the Arizona Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett has completed 65% of his passes, thrown for 850-plus yards, thrown for 6-plus touchdown passes, rushed for a touchdown. The only other NFL quarterback to do this over his first 3 starts with a team was Kurt Warner with the Rams in 1999.
And we all know how that ended.
Greg, don't look so shocked.
You remember how that ended?
Don't look so shocked, Greg.
I mean, are we still on Jacoby Brissett?
We are.
He's had 3 seasons where he started more than half of the games. Never had a passer rating above 88.
Kurt Warner was bagging groceries, Greg.
Yep.
Good point.
Look,
And you know what he did after that? He bagged the Super Bowl.
you know what happens when you let a career backup be your starter?
Go on.
Geno Smith happens. It's just
Oh,
it
I was
doesn't
going to say
work
Tom
out.
Brady happens, but to each his own.
That's an anomaly. That's the
Geno Smith was a starter
exception
for
to the
several
rule.
years.
The rule is if you're a career backup and all of a sudden you become a starter, you remind people why you were a career backup.
Agreed, Greg. But we can all admit Kyler Murray is kind of on the downslide of what we thought he was going to be. Like, in his prime, he should be a quarterback that should be dealing, running around, throwing touchdown passes, and he just doesn't seem to be doing that at the rate that we thought he was going to be.
Ceiling is still so much higher than
Doesn't
Brissett.
mean I know the definition of a career backup.
He's career backup.
He wasn't a career backup.
Yes, he was.
He was the Orange Bowl MVP. I know he split time
We're
with
not
Drew
counting
Henson.
college.
Well, then what are you counting? Because
His
he was a
NFL
backup for
career.
like 6 weeks.
It was his second year.
So that was his career up to that point.
I mean,
He is right about that. It was his career up to that
entire
point.
career.
And then they started him, and the rest is history. Same thing here.
So Shadur Sanders starts at one point this season for the Browns. Was he a career backup?
Yeah, so far his career is a backup.
I don't like this game.
So if you don't start your first
you bored,
career
though?
game, you're a career backup.
As you're sitting, you know what you are? You're sitting, there's a QB1. You know what that makes you?
You know, there is
Backup.
no
How long has your career been? What have you done in your career? You're a start? No. Guess what you are?
Mac Jones started as a starter.
It's
not
all
a
right.
career backup.
Not a career backup.
It's really fine to admit when you're wrong. Like
Wrong
Miami's
about
not
what?
as good as I thought they were, and Tom Brady wasn't a career backup. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why we have to hold on to this.
How do you not understand?
It's
the
actually
logic?
liberating when you're like, you know what? My bad. Had that one wrong.
What do you think I thought? You think I thought that Tom Brady was bouncing around the league and then all of a sudden got a shot?
No, I think you
That
thought
what
he was probably in the league for several years.
That's what I think.
Several years?
Yeah. That's what I think.
How many years was he in the league?
His whole career?
when he was a backup.
Don't turn this on him.
When he was a backup, like 18 games.
So more than one season?
Yes.
More than 1 year?
Yes.
Hey, Tony, what happens when you have a year and then you have more than
2
it?
years.
It's called years.
Yeah.
Years as a backup.
Jeff
career
Hostetler
backup.
did win a Super Bowl.
The last two Cardinals quarterbacks with 200-plus passing yards, passing touchdowns in 3 consecutive games. Jacoby Brissett, Carson Palmer. Kyler's never done it.
Who's missing there, Greg? This is not a pro Jacoby Brissett conversation. It is an anti Kyler Murray conversation.
And there's also an English language conversation for some of the people.
Exactly. Thank you.
For some of the people.
What is true is that there's a level of franchise quarterbacks where you think it's a franchise quarterback and the jury is still out. Tua's one of those guys.
Nah.
Kyler Murray's one of those
Jury
guys.
made their decision there.
You think?
Yeah.
Journey did.
Last few games.
so.
Journey did think
All right, let's go
they
home
said
to your
don't stop
families.
believing.
We don't want to deliberate anymore. Bailiff?
Champ Bailiff.
To that point, though, it feels like Kyler Murray should be in some of these stats, and he's not.
Who has-
So a pedestrian guy like Jacoby Brissett can go in and make those stats happen, where Kyler Murray cannot? Like, how are we still having this
If
conversation?
you take the contracts away from it, who has less value right now, Kyler or Tua? And I know
To take the contracts away, that's a big thing.
Because at least Kyler Murray can run around and make plays. Tua can't. Kyler Murray absolutely has more value.
Does he have more value?
I don't know about I would dispute
A
that.
lot more value.
No, we're just taking the contracts out of it.
Yeah.
He has a lot more value.
A lot more
Really?
value.
Yes.
He's a better player.
He's not a hit away.
Yes.
Yep.
He's not a hit away. That's one thing. I mean, everybody's a hit away, but not in the way that Tua is. And he's more dynamic.
I don't
He's
know.
got an arm that's way more live.
He's much better, Tua.
Are we like
Both
we're
can't see
sure
over
that
the
Tua's lost it? He'll never get it back. That's what
right.
we're saying.
That's what happens when you're washed.
Yeah.
You're already calling it.
I don't agree.
I think
Judge
he's-
Zaz?
I think
He's
toast.
washed?
I say he was washed weeks ago.
Yeah, he's toast. I think he's toast.
Now, Kyler Murray may not be very good, but he's not washed.
It's not
Correct. I think Kyler Murray has certainly way more of a chance to make something of himself in the NFL. And I'm not even in on how we're talking about him. I don't think he's shown you that he's a complete bust just yet.
I feel like this is a classic. Better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Right? Tua was actually great at one point. But you're
So was
saying
Kyler. Kyler, that
was he
rookie
great?
season, everyone's like, they freaking nailed it.
His peak
Kingsbury
was never as high
was
as
so
Tua's.
right to get Rosen out of
Tua's
there.
peak was probably higher than
It's
Murray's best season
much higher.
so far.
Yes,
much
yes,
higher.
Yes.
Yeah,
more
yeah.
accurate.
Kyler
yeah.
never led the league in
No,
passing.
Tua had an amazing year.
His
2
peak
seasons ago.
is undeniably higher, but Kyler hasn't been scrambled eggs, so that's what puts him on average better. But even then, I'm
Kyler made the playoffs his rookie year. Everyone was like, wow, they nailed that.
I feel hesitant to just declare that Tua's done.
You shouldn't. Nobody should.
Well, if you want to be accurate.
I don't think the Dolphins are declaring that yet.
Well, clearly they're not.
Right.
Yes or no? We see Quinn Ewers, though.
You heard Dianna say that there's dispute within the franchise about whether or not they want to move on with him, meaning some people still believe in him.
Oh, no, I took it the other way. Like what Dianna was saying there made it sound like they are kind of close to done with Tua.
Well, I think if you replay the tape, she also said there's debate within the franchise.
Right, but that would be the first time that you've heard that
Right, he's
before.
saying-
So that would mean we're trending in the wrong direction.
If there's debate,
I mean,
whereas
he leads the league in interceptions. Of course, you're going to be down on him when a quarterback of a 2-7 team has 11 picks. He's having a lousy year. 2 years ago, he made the Pro Bowl. I'm not ready to give up on the guy.
Greg, do you think is there a possibility for Tua to have success somewhere else? Like in that sense that let's say they do give up on him. Would
Like
you
a Sam Darnold situation.
Would you fear a Sam Darnold situation?
Yeah,
with Tua?
I would think he has trade value somewhere. I don't think you're going to get 3 first rounds for him or even 2, but I think he has trade value.
You'd be lucky if you got a 5th-round pick for him.
Oh, that's
The way they're
insane.
prognosticating is you got to give picks away to get him off your roster and get him to somebody else's team.
So you think you think he's less valuable to a team that needs a quarterback than Jalen Phillips?
You also got to remember, there's a money situation. We're talking about trade. You
Right.
can't then say all things equal. No, all things are not equal. You
Right.
have to take the money. They'd be lucky to get a 5th.
You would have
Jalen
to-
Phillips doesn't
you'd
make
have-
any money right now.
You'd have to eat some money because they ate some of Jalen's money to get that 3rd-round pick. I think to get anything for Tua, you'd have to eat a lot of money.
You would have to see him as a franchise quarterback.
They'd be lucky to get Jacoby Brissett because the Cardinals' passing offense with Jacoby Brissett, 287 yards per game, 2 touchdowns per game, 25.7 points per game. With Kyler Murray, just 192 yards per game, 1.2 touchdowns per game, and 20.6 points per game.
The plot seems to be Kyler Murray is not that good.
We've lost the plot.
Like, it seems to be that's the plot. Here we go.
All right, so let's talk about something completely different. Steve Ballmer getting sued, baby.
Thank you. Finally. All right, this is look, there's a lot of news stories out there. We chewed on the John Morant thing, but Steve Ballmer getting sued by, what was it, 11 people from Aspiration?
Well, 11 investors in Aspiration. Mike, this is what I'm going to say. So, yeah, the basic gist of it is, let me just, for the people who don't know, obviously Aspiration is the company that was paying Kawhi Leonard allegedly under the table, some cap circumvention stuff. There's a lot of evidence that Pablo Torre finds out has uncovered. I'm part of that investigation, so I guess I could say I'm going to uncover some of it too. But anyways, that even as Aspiration was crashing, Steve Ballmer and other Ballmer surrogates were funneling money to the company, keep it afloat, simply to continue to make the payments to Kawhi Leonard. So
wouldn't that also kind of prove Mark Cuban's point originally, right? Where where you don't want the company to go bankrupt because then everything, it's
comes
house of
out.
cards at that point.
So it proved Mark Cuban's point that proved Pablo's point. Yes.
Right.
Yes. So that's the story. And then last night we get the update that Steve Ballmer is being sued by people who are investors in Aspiration. And the basic gist of it is we saw Ballmer's infusion in cash as a stamp that everything's on the up and up.
A lifeline almost.
Not just a lifeline, but this is a real thing that we're right to invest in. And then to find out literally through Pablo's reporting that no, all that was basically a clearinghouse to pay Kawhi, they feel like they've been defrauded because it was not an up and up. They were committing fraud, basically. And so they're suing Steve Ballmer for that. And the first thing I thought when I heard Pablo talk about it and I read through the lawsuit, I said, this is the most brilliant lawyer ever because they know they've got Steve Ballmer against the ropes with this situation.
There's two options, right? Like either Ballmer pays or they go to Discovery, right?
Yes, exactly. And if you go to Discovery, now everything that we've talked about, it wasn't cap circumvention, I was the framed, and all that gets entered in, and now you're really in trouble. So, I just think it's brilliant, but it's also like a cash grab.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Does it feel like it's going from instead of salary cap circumvention to now wire fraud and fraud of other sorts for Steve Ballmer?
So up until this point, it hasn't been a criminal conversation, right? The whole
does this make it? Is my question.
I'm not as informed from the SEC and that level of it, but we do know that Joe Sandberg, who's also being named in the lawsuit, has been investigated, right, and has been charged and taken a trial over this. So there are criminal aspects to this case, Greg. But the Clippers, up until this point, have always been like, oh, no, this is an NBA story.
Yeah.
And now it becomes a court story.
Yeah, I think that Steve Ballmer probably is going to try to settle this out of court, which is going to be incriminating to him, I think, on its own merit. I think
the NBA will still be like, it doesn't prove anything.
I know, but that's a problem. I don't think the Pablo Torre finds out report, I think it's been maligned, meaning unfairly criticized or not taken seriously enough. And I think this lawsuit against Ballmer is sort of going to force Ballmer's hand. If you see him settle out of court, that's incriminating.
Yeah, I think it's going to force him to settle, Greg.
I know,
because there's no way this goes to Discovery.
Okay,
if this goes to Discovery, they're doing the NBA's job for them, and we already saw how the NBA panics when someone does their job for them.
It'll never get to that.
Greg, the big thing is I'd rather people think I'm guilty than to remove any shadow of a doubt that I'm guilty.
And the NBA, look, if he settles, the NBA is really the NBA is going to look and be like, all right, it doesn't prove anything.
No, exactly. Well, it's Greg's right. People are gonna be like, oh, they had to settle. That means they had something to hide. People are gonna say that, but that is more advantageous of a position to be in than for them to. Oh, we're gonna take it to court, and then everything comes out, and it's like,
absolutely.
So
no, the lawsuit was filed as a money grab. There's no doubt about it. But if you're the NBA and you see Ballmer settling that out of court rather than facing Discovery, that's pretty incriminating.
No, yes, on the outset. But
I think the NBA is going to say it's pretty
thank
substantial.
God. The NBA,
NBA is rooting for that. Probably advising him on the side.
Right.
Most billionaires don't want to go to Discovery for anything.
They don't want,
whether they did it or not.
But more than anything, the league doesn't want this, right? The league's best interest, obviously, I'm not saying that they're going to subvert they're going to subvert the investigation that they're doing. But the best interest of the league is to find out that, there was no cap circumvention.
Right.
To find out there was this massive cap circumvention thing would be a huge black eye. So if discovery is withheld and this guy settles out of court and then they can't find anything corroborating on their side, it's a little bit of a, oh, thank God, rather than, oh, no. You almost don't want to find out.
Well, from day one, the NBA wanted this whole thing to go away and ignore it.
Adam Silver said, I've never heard of aspiration. And in the words of Maury Povich, we found out that also was not a truth.
Fraud.
Not a truth. There you go. Shout out to Sid Cicero.
Fraud.
Oh, man, I miss him. We should have him on again.
Kyler Murray has hit 260-plus passing yards and 2+ passing touchdowns just twice since Jonathan Gannon became head coach. Jacoby Brissett has done it in 3 of 3 starts this year.
You know what that makes him? It makes him a fraud.
Fraud. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. This is start of the day.
Stat of the day is presented by Amazon Prime Video. Thursday Night Football is on. The Las Vegas Raiders take on the Denver Broncos. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime Video. Jeremy, what do we got?
Per Hunter Volpe, Travis Kelce's first 4 games this season. 15 catches, 182 yards, and 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce's last 5 games after a song about his penis was released.
Nice.
30 catches, 258 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Nice.
Better.
There you go.
Nice.
More Dick songs. That's what we need.
Yeah, Uncle Dick.
Is that what we need?
Start of the day, start of the day.
You guys wanted to call him Udonis Haslem.
All right,
disrespectful so-and-so.
It's like every now and then, UD gets some playing time after 7 games running the
Hits
punt.
that baseline jumper.
Hits that baseline jumper, and you're like, wow.
Right? Aren't they building a statue of UD?
He still has it.
Aren't you building a statue of yourself?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah?
They're
In your
pricey.
lawn?
Yeah.
What would be the pose?
I'm not sure yet. That's a good question.
What do you think the neighbors would say?
I think they would be aghast. They would laugh because they would assume it's not there for a long period of time.
Do the pose stand up and do the pose that you've always done. You're famous, like, if you were to flex and be a bodybuilder. I think this is what it should be.
Famous Greg Cody.
This is a famous
flex.
Greg Cody. I've seen him do this.
You just mean the regular one, or
Just
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Wow. Gives me Shawn
love
Michaels
that.
vibes.
That's not an action shot of what we've
Just like
seen
it.
him do, though.
no, that's not. He screwed it up. It's not exactly like you
it
do
looks
the
like
one where
him-
you're like.
Rest in peace, Victor Conte.
I screwed it up as it's my thing.
You
If
do
I
it with
do
it
it's
has like
mine.
your front foot up, and you're like.
Well, that's what I just did.
No, but you were like crouched over.
Oh, that one.
Thank
mean.
you. I mean, jeez. I mean,
The one where you go like this.
there you go. Like
Wow.
that. He's been doing that my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that like a conquering hero? You put your foot on the carcass of the person you just
I
defeated?
think so, yeah. That is the statue. That is the statue move, yeah. But it's going to cost me like $6,000.
Yeah,
Worth
but
it.
I mean, money's, you can't take it with you when you die.
No,
Exactly.
That's true. I could leave it to my kids, but why
No.
bother?
These ingrates? Never. This guy called you Udonis Haslem.
That's a compliment.
No, it's not.
Christopher's laughing. He's kidding, right? We're going to get money, right?
You act like you control your money.
Well, I was about to say I control my wife, but that's not true either.
Hold
not
on.
even close.
So the last will and testament of Greg Cody, is it specific in there? Does it get into specifics of the?
I can answer this. Yes.
Oh, it does?
How do you know?
Me and Mom have talked about all this stuff.
Really?
You guys are getting old.
Wow. So, and it's like this much goes to charity and this much goes
Charity.
to
Charity?
Okay.
Who's charity's Chris Cody?
Who's that?
Charity?
Does it go to you, Chris, or does it go straight to your kid?
No, it goes. I am because my brother. I have a brother.
Yeah.
And one of us had to be kind of put in the. And I'm the responsible one, believe it or not.
I'm going to have a talk with my lawyer about that.
What are we talking about here? Like a 50-50 kind of deal?
I don't know.
See,
I didn't
I'm
know.
telling you,
I didn't know there were any specifics.
Telling you, he doesn't know, guys.
Really? They're doing this
I
behind
will
your back
after tonight.
You got to go.
Speaking of Will,
This is ridiculous. I should know all this.
Power of attorney.
Why is your mother working behind my back, Jack?
It's called just planning for the future in case something horrific happens.
Are you sure that it's been planned?
I have a folder.
Gotcha.
He's got a
should have
folder.
brought me in on that.
How is he being left out of these decisions?
I'm telling you, he's aware of this. He just doesn't remember anything.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Thank you.
I don't trust this.
You may want to rehash some of this, Greg. You may disagree with some.
Damn right I will.
You go home.
I'm going to review and...
You should get a couple statues.
revise.
Now that I think about it, you should get a couple statues. Spend their inheritance on yourself.
That's a good
in the
idea.
last couple of years, you got 5 statues instead of 1. $6K. Okay,
One's
turn
fine.
it to
And then,
30K.
and then this is what you do. You leave the statues to them. Like,
Exactly.
You want? Here's a great
Where
hold
am
of
I going to
value.
sell that?
Yeah,
Sell
something
it.
tangible.
You keep it. It's an
Keep it.
heirloom.
Put it in your front yard.
And like any good statue, it's going to be slightly larger than life.
Oh, yeah.
Baby.
I'll be like 6'1",
Wait, your height, you mean?
not counting the pedestal.
Oh, okay.
I saw some graphic on social media where it was just every president and their height and weight, and I was just playing the game of like, who am I? Whoop, and I'm Theodore Roosevelt.
Wow, nice.
Look at you.
Get you some
He
glasses.
was like 5'10", around 220.
Slick your hair back real good.
220, huh?
Teddy.
On a good day.
Spelt.
Just the closest one I could find. I'm
How
not
about a
saying
bad day? Let's talk about the bad days.
A night of bowling. A couple Miller Lights in you.
Only 96 calories.
The good stuff. Man.
3.2 carbs.
How about that Flanagan's, huh? Just Miller Lite just got me back to Kendall.
Flowing, baby.
I want to go back
This
to Kendall.
right here, that should be the Greg Cody
That's the-
statue.
yeah.
Performing in Vegas as the front man of the Hee Haw 3.
yeah, that's
Look at that,
not bad.
holding up the hand, got the microphone
Look
at
at
the
Jeremy
mic stand.
fake singing back
Yeah,
there.
Jeremy, I don't
Actually
know.
singing.
I can't
Asshole.
believe as a white man, you look so much like Ray Charles there.
It's
Thank
the
you.
glasses.
It's incredible.
That's the last time I've dressed up.
It's almost
Yeti looks
uncanny.
translucent.
It looks if I didn't know that it happened for real, I would say this is photoshopped.
Sora. Charles.
It's Sora, yeah. Well, Sora would it'd have someone else singing for some reason.
Are you in the Hall of Fame? Not your band, but are you going to watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction?
I
That's
think I
coming
will.
up.
When is that aired?
I think that this weekend on
Yeah.
Disney. It's on Disney Plus.
So
The
not
Rock
on
and Roll Hall
YouTube
of Fame-
TV.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is like on somewhere every year, different. Like it's a different platform.
Can I say something? I discovered for the first time just how many people have YouTube TV because they won't stop whining about. I'm like, oh my
Dude,
God!
I
grow up and get some cable.
I finally found.
Get Hulu.
I finally found where I'm not crossing, and it's this ESPN Unlimited stuff. And I'm a WWE fan, as you know this.
I love
punting.
WWE.
I'm punting on the product, and like this whole thing that they're doing with YouTube TV, getting the ACC coaches to be like, "Wow, YouTube is so bad."
Nah,
Get out of here
I
with
don't
that.
care.
What's happening? I'm not understanding.
It's a power play to get you to get ESPN. What is it? Unlimited.
That's the new ESPN app,
That's
right?
their
Yeah,
direct-to-consumer
which is-
service.
You know what I realize is I don't get the channels that I pay for with the ESPN app anymore. Like I have a cable package, and through a different carrier, I also have YouTube TV because I like to spoil myself during the football season. Okay. So I get it. Like, all right, my YouTube carrier, I don't get ESPN that way. But I have Xfinity. That's what my login is.
Right.
And I can't watch like ESPN2 Live. I was trying to watch your Ramblin' Wreck over the
Yeah.
weekend. And the app, number one, it sucks. Terrible app. Bad app. Laggy. Sound is all bad. Multi-view is super behind. I don't like the app right now. They got work to do on the app. But I try to watch the Ramblin' Wreck because I don't have a cable outlet directly into my TV in my bedroom. And something that I was able to do before, I can't do anymore. No, you need ESPN Unlimited to watch a cable channel you pay for because that's ESPN Unlimited now. I don't like this. I'm not supporting this. You got me picking between Disney
So
and
how are you
Google.
gonna watch
That's how bad
WWE?
this is going. I'm not going to watch Look, WWE's got to give me a reason to watch too. That product is flat out bad.
Are you just a sucker?
I enjoy. Don't ever call me a sucker.
Are you a sucker? Because Mike says he's out and you're in.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Don't
It's
ever call me a
bad
sucker.
stuff right now.
I watched
And
Raw
you-
last night. Raw was good.
You see this attendance? The attendance
yeah,
is cratering
yeah,
because
they
the
specifically
TKO
did not
approach.
show the upper deck last night. Upper deck was definitely tarped off. Yeah, not a good crowd.
They overplayed their hand, man.
What's
they
happening?
overplayed their hand.
Why are the people turning away?
Very
votes?
expensive. Very
Super.
expensive.
It's
And,
always
like,
been expensive.
All the
No,
public comments,
dude,
they're overtly political now. They have really capitalist prices that don't make sense.
It's outrageously expensive.
The prices are going one way while the economy's going the other way, and they expect people to just keep buying this stuff, which is, by the way, the product totally diminished. predictable. The cards aren't good anymore. They're not giving you a reason to watch. I don't like it. And if it's at the crux of this whole ESPN Unlimited thing, I don't think the product's at a place where I should pay for it.
Speaking of Raw, by the way. That's the hardest one to hold.
I mean, you heard me yesterday complaining about the prices for John Cena's last match. Like, I'm being serious.
I thought that was for tickets to get in price.
Yeah.
That's for tickets, but all these other shows have tickets. And you purchase them to go. They've gone from sold out arenas.
It was not a good crowd last night.
25,000
right.
for their flagship shows, SmackDown and Raw, like not even their PLEs, to get in like 5,000 maybe if you're lucky.
Only the lower level was filled last night.
I feel like this would be a much bigger story if it were a mainstream sport or even like a concert series, right? Like whenever so-and-so has to cancel tour because they couldn't sell enough tickets.
But that's never possible for wrestling. They're never going to cancel the show.
Yeah, because they have a weekly
because it's a TV
commitment to Netflix and USA Network.
You're right, though.
But
You're
we've
right.
been sounding the alarm bells. Like wrestling fans have been sounding the alarm bells for months and months and months. Like you guys aren't fan friendly right now. Your prices don't make sense.
It's good though. I'm glad to see there wasn't a lot of people there because maybe they'll adjust the prices sometime.
They're doing things like ripping WrestleManias away from towns that they already announced. They announced New Orleans. No, it gets to go to Vegas for back-to-back years. No one likes that.
In January, Royal Rumble, which is probably their second biggest show of the year. It's in Saudi. It sucks.
Which next year, Saudi Arabia is also getting WrestleMania. It's
Terrible.
They're making bad decision after bad decision, and they're wondering why their crowds are thinner. And then look in the mirror. They had a terrible WrestleMania season. They wasted all the buyer buy-in that they had from their biggest fans after WrestleMania 40, which was a great event. They botched this whole John Cena thing.
I mean, I think it really does boil down to ticket prices are outrageous.
They're outrageous.
I think that's by far
They're
the biggest
outrageous.
issue.
But the product
outrageous, not in the context of John Cena's last show.
No, but the product also fell off. It was a red-hot product. Well, if only we could talk to an expert about this, because I do think that there are certain things plaguing the fan base at Braun Strowman, who worked at that company for a very long time and is aware of TKO's business practices. Maybe he can shine some light on them.
Well, let me ask this though. Like in the context, you're saying the ticket price is out of whack. Yesterday we talked about John Cena's last fight, $700 or $500 lower
right
level?
now, because I'm going, I just don't have the tickets yet.
Yeah.
Cheapest ticket in the lower level is $500.
But what it would be a typical WrestleMania or a typical
like if this was
SmackDown
a
or
few
typical
years
Raw.
ago, let's say?
Yeah, like before all of this.
If this event was a few years ago, like essentially before TKO bought WWE, let's do it like that, the cheapest ticket to get in the lower level, I'd say would be, I don't know, $125 maybe.
Well, I'd like to welcome Braun Strowman on. He's got a cool show to promote. Amin, can you lob that up for our guests?
Absolutely. It's called Everything on the Menu, and it airs Fridays at 10 Eastern on the USA Network. It is a travel and eating show, but Braun Strowman's here with us, WWE wrestler and was once the WWE Universal Champion. Before we get into what we've been arguing about right here, Braun, the premise of your show is you go to a restaurant and you order everything on the menu, not to taste, but to eat it all?
Oh, my God.
Well, to try. Some of the restaurants, it's impossible to. Some of the restaurants, I have no problem crushing their entire menu. The premise behind the show is I do 2 restaurants every episode. The first restaurant is kind of the nostalgia signature dish for the city. All those restaurants I did were open 50, 60 years. So you're getting in there, you're hearing the backstory of what's gone into keeping their restaurant going, why the customers come back. I talk to customers that have been eating there their entire lives. And then you have the realization that you're taking a bite out of American history when you're eating this. And then the other restaurant that I do on Everything on the Menu, think about how many times you've gone out to eat and you're sitting down, you're seeing people's food come out, and you're like, man, that looks good.
Yeah.
Whatever they're having, that looks good. Well, that looks good. Now you're looking at the menu, you're like, man, everything looks good on here. And I can't make up my mind what I want to eat. Well, neither can I. So I order everything on the menu.
Man, so what is a typical meal for Braun? Like, how many calories are you intaking at these restaurants in a sit-down?
Oh, man. So they've been doing some calorie counting and stuff like that. It's a lot of preparation that goes into this because I don't eat like this on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I would love to, but I wouldn't look like I look. So, there's a lot of prep that goes into filming an episode of this with, I do like fasting beforehand. I'll do an hour of cardio in the morning before I go and eat. And then I'll do the big pig out on everything on the menu. And then I won't eat again for 24 to 36 hours again after that. And then I make myself, before I break my fast, I make sure I work out, I do cardio, and then I earn that meal again. So everything just doesn't go to my love handles. I still got to take my shirt off on TV eventually. I got a bunch of cool stuff coming down the pipeline in 2026. More big screen stuff that we'll talk about when I'm allowed to talk about it and things like that. So trying to stay in shape while still getting out here doing this. And it was so much fun because, like I said, I've always been a big food guy. I mean, I don't get 350 pounds by accident, you know. And for me, with working with WWE and the blessings that came along with that, getting to travel around the world and try literally pretty much every walk of life cuisine that you could think of, really opened my eyes to how much I like trying new things and experiencing things. And one of my favorite things to do now is taking people out to eat and getting them to step outside of their normal comfort zone and trying new foods. And that's like kind of the premise behind everything on the menu. It's the ultimate cheat meal show for the bodybuilders and the people that are dieting and doing stuff out there when you need a relief. It's the show for people that, you know, can't make up their mind what they want to go out to eat, or people that are afraid to try new things. And, you know, I'm not this overly educated human when it comes to the culinary space. I learned food by trying it and traveling and, you know, doing all this stuff. And when I watch these food shows that are out there that I love and all these chefs and stuff that are amazing at what they do, there's times when I get like, I don't know what you're talking about. So for me, I like to think this is a blue collar approach to not necessarily fine dining, because it wasn't all about fine dining. It was from greasy spoon mom and pop kitchens to soul food to roast beef sandwich shops to 3-star Michelin restaurants and everything else in between. But for me, everybody has taken a bite of something in their life and it makes you close your eyes and just go, So there's a lot of grunting, there's a lot of groaning, and, you know, explaining it in kind of like, I don't know, layman's terms or whatever. I like to think that I'm just, you know, I'm larger than nature intended. I'm a redneck that's had so many amazing jobs, and, you know, now it's my opportunity to do more stuff that I love, which is putting smiles on people's faces, man. At the end of the day, food is an opportunity to bring people together for a conversation, to sit down, to catch up, to kindle new relationships, to fall in love, to talk about life, and that's what it's all about. And a lot of that shines through on everything on the menu, with my interactions with the customers, the owners, the chefs, getting back in the kitchen, getting my hands dirty, and, you know, breaking the proverbial stereotypes when you see human beings like me and you think, oh, this guy's just fee-fi-fo-fum. Well, don't get me wrong, I fee-fi-fo-fum my way through life for a good while and was pretty damn good at it. But now having this opportunity to be a little more articulate, getting out here, breaking these stereotypes, showing that I'm compassionate, caring, and I have one hell of a educated palate, at least what these chefs have been telling me. And, you know, James Beard award-winning Michelin certified chefs, I'll take their opinions.
Yeah.
Ron, what's been one thing on the menu that you've confronted that's been the biggest challenge to eat? Something that you really never, ever would have ordered and didn't particularly like?
I don't know about never ordered. I mean, one of the crazy things, we shot the pilot episode to get all this stuff going at a place in Kewaskum, Wisconsin called Great Outdoor Supper Club, and they had a 96-ounce prime rib on the menu.
Oh.
So,
Sign
and
me
an
up.
ode to the Great Outdoors with John Candy and stuff like that. So it was pretty funny in that you like literally pick it up like a loaf of bread and just start taking bites out of it. For me, it's a lot of experience and new things. Edison Food Laboratory and Kitchen in Tampa changed my whole perspective on lamb and peas. Like, I've hated lamb and I hate peas my entire life. But whatever they did with that braised lamb shank, and they pureed the peas and it completely changed my mind. And same thing with so many things. Like, I think back in my childhood that I hated that my parents used to force me to eat. And I'm like, ugh. And now, like, as you know, you mature and your palate changes, or maybe the fact, like, my parents made steamed Brussels sprouts and I hated them, and now all the Brussels sprouts are like deep fried with bacon and stuff in it like that. So maybe that's what it is, but I don't know.
The show is Everything on the Menu. It airs Fridays, 10 Eastern on USA Network. He's Braun Strowman, former WWE superstar. Braun, you're recognized everywhere you go. I mean, you're too big, all right? So people recognize you everywhere. Are you open to people coming up to you wherever you are? Is there a time where you don't like fans bothering you? What's that like?
I mean, for the most part, it's always a blessing. There's times where it can be a little taxing, like hanging around at baggage claim at the airports and stuff like that, or like eating, like I'm literally rifling food down my gullet and get tapped on the shoulder. While like I appreciate it, there's a time and a place for everything. Like, at the end of the day, we're still all human beings. But, you know, the day that stuff like that stops happening is the day that I need to worry that people are forgetting about it. So while at times it could be like, you can see me be a little, in the back of my mind, I still am appreciative of it, even though like I get grumpy because there's only so many minutes in a day and I try to be as welcoming as I can, but there's times when I'm in a damn hurry and sorry, get out of my way.
Braun, our resident monster among men, Chris Cody, is doing a food challenge tomorrow. He has to eat 99 chicken nuggets. Now, you gave some tips. Do some cardio, fast a little bit. I don't think that's in my boy's locker. Any other tips for tomorrow's big day?
But you got to give him the time span. He's got to do it in basically a little over 3 hours.
Should I get stoned?
Yeah. It probably would help. At least allegedly, that's what I've heard. I don't know. So for me, I've never been like this, like challenged, like try to be competitively eating. I just eat a lot naturally. I mean, I've eaten like 90-something chicken wings in a sitting before and things like that. The only thing I can think of was like maybe drink a bunch of water and try to stretch your stomach out beforehand or get really stoned. I don't know.
What about sauce? People like I shouldn't go sauce, right? If I'm trying to eat a bunch of them.
Sauce, you always think about like Joey Chestnut and these guys and gals that wolf down 100 hot dogs in whatever 12 minutes. They're dipping it in water. You need lubrication. You can't just drive, you know what, through life.
So dip it in water? I should dip the chicken nuggets in water?
I don't know. I feel like ranch has a little bit more lubricity. Is that a word?
I think lubrication is what we're looking for.
I'll allow lubricity. I'll allow it.
You
Lubricity.
Lubricity. Let's ask you one wrestling-related question because we were talking about like wrestling aggregate sites have been making a lot of attendance dipping in the WWE. You were around the product. You've seen highs and lows. Around the time of your departure, it was towards this tail end of a red-hot resurgence. Having parted ways with WWE, we know you can get a call at any moment, so we don't want to put you in a bad spot, but TKO has kind of moved away from going to these smaller markets. Places at WWE would reportedly take a loss because Vince McMahon thought it was important to be running shows there.
I'm not trying to go to Saudi, Braun.
And you got these big ticket prices, and it's starting to catch up with the product. Do you think TKO is making a misstep here?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, all that stuff is so over my pay grade when I was with there. While for me as a talent, business to the side, I think all these little house shows and little shows that they don't do anymore is hurting the talent because the talent doesn't have an opportunity to go out and really refine their craft and find their niche and how to connect with the audience. When you're literally just plugging away every day at the performance center and you're being told what to do while they have great coaches to, set you up for everything, it don't work like that. This is live, and so many people. And I think that's why they rely on so many of the older talents still and call guys back and stuff, just because people haven't polished their skills, I guess, enough by doing these smaller shows. Because that's how I learned how to do it all. I had 4 wrestling matches in my life when I debuted on TV. And the reason I picked it up and got so good at it so fast was because the dancing partners that I had with doing all these little ho-dunk towns is what I like to call them, is where I learned how to do this. I wrestled Kane every night for like a year on all these house shows and stuff like that. And that's where I getting my reps. That's when I learned what worked. That's where I learned what didn't work. And as far as like the business side of things, I get it. You got to make money. I mean, I'm sure they still owe a ton of money on this, loan or whatever it took to purchase the company and stuff like that. So, I mean, I can't even imagine what's going on in, the minds of that side of the tracks. But like I said, that was so far out of sight of mind for me. All I cared about was, give me the script. I'm going to go out there and do the best I can with it. And I'll see you next week.
Braun, do you have a great or memorable personal or travel story on the road with John Cena?
I never could see John.
He did a sucker question. That was a sucker question by you.
Yo, don't ever call me a sucker.
That was a sucker question by you.
You set yourself up to be a sucker.
Braun, what's the best food town you've been to on the road? So not for the show, but when you were wrestling, the town that you look forward to, like, oh, we eat good here.
I always have a great time over in the Boston area. There's Kowloon's up there that's been a huge focal point in the wrestlers going and eating it. The excitement of getting to eat at Ribera Steakhouse when we're in Japan, the nostalgia behind that. I mean, for me, it's always exciting because every city has a different walk of life and culture when it comes to food. And getting to get in there and eat it. That's what I said. Look at it. It's everywhere. I said when we go to New York or Buffalo, I'm looking forward to chicken wings. When I'm on the West Coast, it's sushi and Hawaiian barbecue and stuff like that. And everywhere else in between, Texas brisket, North Carolina hog barbecue, Florida, all the dang seafood. And I just look forward to it. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's life. Life's about experiences. It ain't about what you got. When you're laying in bed dying, all you're going to have is your experiences. And damn it, I'm going to have as many of them as I can.
Braun, what do you miss about wrestling, if anything?
I miss being in the ring and being in the locker room with the boys. The rest of it, I need a break.
Like, can you give, I always like, whenever I talk to pro wrestlers, I like asking about now I know the travel schedule is a little different these days for the active wrestlers, but like 10 years ago when you first started in WWE, can you describe what the travel schedule was like?
Oh my God. When I first got called up to the main roster, not knowing the difference between a headlock and the hole in my ass. You get thrown in the hole. Can't even see in it. Getting the proverbial, kick in the butt and getting out there and learning along the way. The boss, Vince, at the time said, look, I know you don't know much about this, but we're going to figure it out. I see something in you. He believed in me, gave me an opportunity, and it was awesome. I mean, it was probably some of the most fun was those early days of learning this and being terrified, going out there. I mean, the 11th or 12th wrestling match I ever had was me and rest his soul Brody Lee versus the Brothers of Destruction in Merida, Mexico in front of 12,000 people. And Kane and Undertaker refused to speak to me all day. They said, we'll see you out there, kid. So that mortifying on that. And then, being on the road, we would fly out Friday morning, do a house show, drive up to 300 miles. Saturday, do a house show, drive up to 300 miles. Sunday, either a pay-per-view or a house show, drive another up to 300 miles. Monday Night Raw, another 300 miles. SmackDown, get home 1 or 2 o'clock on Wednesday, have Thursday off, back out again Friday. I did that for 3 or 4.5 years straight. And while it was amazing, it also was very, taxing. You miss out on a lot of stuff. And that's what I'm kind of trying to catch up on right now is the things in life that I didn't have opportunities for being on the road, for a decade working so hard. And then the big thing for me now is with this show and stuff like that. This is the first time in my life I've ever had a massive platform where I get to be Adam Scher. It's unscripted. It is me ad-libbing everything. I wrote this show. I helped produce this show with my agent and a close friend of mine, Kevin, that did all this. We did the pilot episode. We got it all out. And for me to have a chance to be Adam Scher, because the whole world knows who Braun Strowman is. They've seen Braun. They know what he's capable, but he played a character on a show. This is the first time that I get to be me. And I keep telling everybody, watch this show. And if you don't believe me when I say this, if WWE would have ever just let me be Adam Scher, I would have ruled the world.
Wow. Important update. Lubricity. Noun. Plural. Lubricities. The property or state of being lubricious. Also, the capacity for reducing
My
friction.
guy. Yes, sir.
Look at that big brain on Braun.
Yes. Smarter than the average bear. Just a little less hairy.
And bigger.
Oh. Braun, what's the most scared you've been in a WWE ring, and why was it when Brock Lesnar punched you in the face?
It definitely wasn't that.
You ate a shot, though.
Another sucker question.
Yeah.
Don't ever call me
we tried to kill each other in that match, and then we both had a realization like, this is a work, brother. You want to just work? And poor Kane sitting in the corner going, I'm not getting in between those two bulls. They can have at it. So great learning experience, and what awesome TV, right? For me, scariest moment, it didn't actually happen during a match or any of a match. It was after a match. It was when Bray Wyatt and I did the swamp fight together. We filmed for 36 hours straight in Florida heat and humidity with that. And when I got home, was taking a shower, I collapsed in my shower. Full body cramps, had to have EMS haul my big ass out of my house. It took 6 people to get me down the stairs on the gurney to get me out. Double line plumbed up, 4 liters of saline. So basically a gallon of fluid put back into my body to get me to stop cramping, all kinds of my electrolytes and all this other stuff. And was at Monday Night Raw the next day.
No, come on, man.
That's right.
Braun, I just saw the 1-2 combo you got from Brock Lesnar. Damn, buddy.
Yeah, he ate
You're a horse.
I think I'm the only human being that's ever gotten hit by Brock like that and didn't go to the nether realm.
You ate that, and you were like, "What's up? I'm still back here, man.
Everything on the menu, the 2-piece and the biscuit.
Braun, I'm curious. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so it always fascinates me when I find out famous people are also Star Wars fans. I would imagine it's the same thing with wrestling. You find out there's like, oh, this guy loves wrestling. So who's the most famous person that it surprised you is a huge fan of yours and of WWE?
George W. Bush.
Whoa!
That's a good one.
How'd you find out?
I've been very blessed. I've kindled a pretty good relationship with him. I was up at their family estate earlier this year playing in their big charity golf tournament and stuff like that. It was really cool. I got to cook for the former president of the United States, grilling out lobsters and stuff in Maine and getting out there having fun. I hadn't played golf in like 20 years. So like I did like 3 cool things. There was one hole. It was a $100 buy-in. It was a par 3 hole, and you got to use one of HW's old woods. And if you got it on the green, you got a George H.W. like gold token medallion. And I worm burned one, skipped it across the pond, and put it 20 feet from the pin and got me a little gold coin.
Braun, when I hear that your father is like the Babe Ruth of softball,
Right.
What does that mean?
So he's in 4 or 5 Hall of Fames for slow pitch softball. He's the player of the decade for the 80s in USSSA ball. He holds single season home run records. He hit 491 home runs in 192 games with a lifetime batting average of 685. He was with, I even say that, like, look, this is funny, that's sitting right next to me here. So this is an old Louisville Slugger poster, blasting his own pops right there.
Wow.
The apple hit every branch on the way out of the tree, for sure. But just a big, burly man. Like, it was really cool because he was with Easton and stuff like that. So I got to meet John Elway when I was a kid. I got, like, autographed football. So it was really cool because, like, when my dad was playing slow pitch softballs when baseball was really struggling, they would send him around to all these baseball stadiums and have him put on hitting demonstrations in between the double headers of the games. And my dad got really close with Pete Rose while doing all that because Pete had seen him do it before. And all the guys were going back into the dugout in the locker room and stuff like that. And Pete was like, no, y'all need to stay out here and watch this. And they're like, this dude's not going to hit softballs out of here. Because I can't remember what field it was, but they had a temporary fence up at the time because the baseball players weren't even hitting balls out. My dad hit 12 out of 15 pitches in the upper deck of the stadium. He's one of the only humans to ever hit a ball in the upper deck of the Astrodome. He hit balls on the roofs of the apartments on the other side of Waverly Avenue at Wrigley Stadium or Wrigley Field. So, yeah, I always wanted to play softball, and I did play softball for a while, but, I was never getting out of that shadow. So in my mind, I was like, I got to go out and cast my own shadow. And, boy, I think this back sure has put a decent one on the planet.
You got to give Bronny that same advice. Get out of your dad's shadow. Try something different.
It's not 6'8", 380, though.
Bronny James, not a pet nickname that you have for Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I can see where that might have confused him.
My bad. Again, the show is called Everything on the Menu. It airs Fridays at 10 Eastern on USA Network. Braun Strowman, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks, Braun.
Thank y'all so much for the time. Great chat, fellas.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was fun, man.
I want to be best friends with him.
What do you think?
That was amazing.
I want to go. You know what I want? I want to go out to a restaurant with him because I'm one of those people. I've always dreamt of being the guys that everything on the menu, and then I taste it and like take it all away.
It's a dream.
But like that, if to have the opportunity to do that like on a weekly basis,
Get him down to Miami.
Oh, that's what we should have.
Dude, I'll take him down to the Cuban spots. You'll have 8,000.
He's still here. If you guys want to talk to him.
Braun,
you there?
He's there.
He's listening.
Okay.
Oh, Braun.
All right. So first of all, let me ask you: have you done anything in Miami yet?
Not Miami. We did Orlando and Tampa for Florida in season 1. I heard you talking about Cuban sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, I went to the mecca of Cuban sandwiches.
No, buddy, no.
They do it wrong. They do it wrong up there.
Disrespectfully disagree. Okay, refuse you guys disrespectfully.
heard
Braun,
about
I like you.
Stugotz
I like you,
Bakery is
Braun.
the number 1.
It's Miami, buddy. We could come down. We'll take care of you.
Let's go. I'll actually be down in Jupiter area probably in December and stuff for some business. So if you guys like tequila and you want to show me around Miami,
Yes.
change my opinion on Cuban sandwiches. We'll throw a couple back and go munch some Sammys down.
You can drink your tequila. We'll drink our very favorite corporate partner-sponsored tequila, and we'll just have a nice big party.
But the Cuban sandwiches, though.
The Cuban sandwiches, yes. We got our own tequila. It's a tequila that invented tequila.
Thanks, Braun. Oh man! All right, so he said December, right? So we just
so we're done. All right,
we'll set it all up.
Bring him down here. Bring him in studio.
We'll get him on the bright line.
I took the bright line today for the first time. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, did you get a little morning pop there?
No, man. Like, what you think? I'm an alcoholic?
How about on the way back? You got
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Dribble for the sucker questions. You asked Braun Strowman.
Oh my God! What was going on there? I thought you were a wrestling guy.
What do you mean? What was a sucker question?
You asked something like a John Cena memory, and you played yourself right into a "you can't see me" joke.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't understand.
Hey, bro, what's it like to be famous?
It's like you remember when you were in the Beatles. You Chris Farley'd it, man.
I never thought I'd see the day. Jonathan Zaslow, sucker.
Wow. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Y'all go yourself.
Whoa!
Aggressive.
That's what I'm saying.
I think for the first time in your life, you may have to identify the time you were a sucker.
Yeah, he's eating it. He knows it. Just won't admit it.
Drinking it with some soda, too.
He was involved in a WrestleMania program, but you weren't getting that answer because...
Got a lot of balls trying to make me look stupid with a wrestler on.
Dad,
you did it yourself.
It's my wheelhouse.
Dad, you ever been a sucker?
All the time.
All the time?
Why?
Yeah.
Why
I have a
did that
lollipop
turn?
in front of me.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Kick, saving, and beat.
One of my favorite things, let me just say, I know it's not post-game yet, but I'm going to do something. Because sitting in this chair, I get a different perspective on the shipping container. Every time Greg starts to ask a question, Chris gets this look on his face like, the hell are you trying to say? Like, he just cocks his head.
Don't do that to me.
And you absolutely do. You kind of squint and you stare at your dad like, what the hell are you saying?
Right.
Sometimes I just want to make sure, like, where are we going with this?
It does. Yeah, there is like a concern of literally where is this going.
Right.
But also sometimes it's like, when you ask Dianna Russini about the Dolphins, Chris.
like the fourth Dolphins
Chris
follow-up.
was like, oh, Jesus.
That one I did. We asked her 6 questions, and my dad's like, one more.
Well, she hadn't been asked, but I wanted to ask. But at least you're better than Le Batard, who always rephrases what I've just said.
I believe that was a 2-part follow-up, too.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
I got 2 questions.
Dan would have lost his mind.
Why do we do that to guests? Ask
The
them one question
The
at a
two-part
time.
question?
Can I ask you 2 questions? Number 1,
Chris, they teach
two,
you. They teach you not to ask 2-part questions. That's what.
They didn't teach me that. I
Different
wrote the
school.
book. I write the rules on asking questions. Nobody teaches me that.
Wait, this isn't a journalism thing? That's when I got to ESPN. They told me, hey, by the way, never ask a 2-part
You
question.
never get 2 good answers.
That's what they said.
That would be the argument.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's not a good argument, though.
Okay.
It's not a good argument.
Never ask a yes or no question.
That one, too. Open-ended questions. Yeah. Where's the best place? Not is this the best place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I learned
Now
something.
you're learning.
Okay, what else? What are the other rules?
There aren't that many rules.
Well, like
there are no bad questions, only bad answers.
yeah, but some questions breed bad answers.
That's true.
And so the 2-part question, the argument is, right, if you give a 2-part question, you're going to get a bad answer to one of them.
Well, the question I always hate hearing from other reporters is when you ask a question that isn't really a question. When someone has just had a great game and you go, great game today. What's the question?
What's the worst question you've ever heard?
Ever heard? Oh, man. There used to be a radio
This is the new
guy.
and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
Greg, I'm sorry I set you up for that hard net workout at the end of the segment,
That's okay.
but I really do want the answer, the worst question you've ever heard.
It's not so much the
I'm just
worst.
kidding. Go ahead, keep going.
It's not so much the worst
Good
question.
one, Chris.
I hate the long question.
Uh-huh.
Where everybody's rolling their eyes. The other reporters are rolling their eyes. The other players next to the guy you're asking.
Name names.
The shipping container's rolling its eyes.
Name names.
Speak their names.
No, I'm not going to name names, but you know who I mean.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know, too.
We all know a reporter like that who likes to hear himself
Say
talk.
what his name rhymes with.
But it happens. It happens. And it's funny.
Do you remember what the question was, or like what it was about? I shouldn't say what the question was.
We're on the air for the record. Just sometimes I don't know if you just making sure.
I also hate the news guys who talk in their news voice to ask a question.
Will Manso?
I resent that.
Does his name rhyme with Pim Sherry?
I know what his name is. Yeah, it rhymes with Ira Winderman.
Okay.
That kind of thing, huh, Greg?
Hey, that kind of thing. But I didn't say it. So that kind of thing that he said.
We welcome in Juju for the post-game show. Juju, what's going on, man? And I guess my first question for you is, what's the worst question you've heard? You've done a lot. You've done a lot of media stuff like All-Star Weekend and Super Bowl and on the road. You hear a lot of questions. What's the worst question you've heard, Juju?
Well, coming from someone who asked Jason Tatum and the Joker whether they prefer red Doritos or blue Doritos, I don't have a leg to stand on in this argument.
Good ass question.
But I will say I don't like, because in those scrums, there's like podiums set up for players. I hate when I'm at this podium right here and y'all hear me ask my question. Now 2 podiums down, this brother is asking my question to Kyrie Irving. I'm like,
theft, plagiarism.
That's right.
Right.
Greg, is that against the rules? You said there aren't that
Asking
many
somebody
rules.
else's question?
Yeah.
No, I think that's professional courtesy not to do it. But
okay, but
we
not,
all do it because what you do is you rephrase it. You don't mimic the exact question, but you go with that line of inquiry.
Juju, did the other guy rephrase it, or did he just?
Nah, bar for bar.
Wow. See, that's bad. That's bad.
All right, Juju, college hoops got started yesterday, right, Mike? Yesterday was the first day of college hoops.
The defending champ went down to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, University of Miami men's and women's both win down here. There's
Are the Canes basketball gonna be any good?
And they're gonna try defensively. I don't think they're a tournament team, but they're gonna be not fun to play.
It's John Lucas's kid that's the coach. Right?
Jay Lucas, and he's stacking some talent. Very good defensive.
He seems
coach.
like a real deal. I like him.
He is, but the headline with a bullet though is what Arizona did to Florida. That was really impressive.
Hell yeah, man. They looking good. And for some reason I was expecting to see Bryce out there, but look, I'm like, what am I thinking? They have a squad over there in Arizona, and I think they're gonna be one of them title contenders by the end of the year.
A lot of talk. A lot of talk. They never do anything.
Hey, man.
Self-hatred Arizonian? What's wrong with you?
I went to Arizona State, brother.
He's a Sun Devil.
Works up.
Man.
Yeah.
Spoken like a sucker, Tony.
You calling me a sucker?
Hey, you got his ass.
Hey,
you take this.
Hey, look at me.
Said
You
what I
wear it.
said.
Look at me. Look at me.
Hey, stop.
Look at me right now.
Said what I said.
Look at me. You see everything, right?
Gimmick infringement.
Yeah, I see everything.
Okay. You saw yourself being a sucker earlier.
You're just adding to your sucker.
Don't ever call me a sucker.
In front of Braun Strowman, no less. He knows you're a sucker.
With the return of college basketball, though, we had a couple of storylines for out the night last night.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, one of the biggest storylines was Loyola College buzzer beater with the Sister Jean patches on. First game without her, they went crazy. Nice dedication they got to sis. That looks beautiful. And they hit the buzzer beater. So her spirit was in the building last night. Also, Cayenne Anthony, 15 points in his first game.
Saw that.
Lala in the crowd. Nice. But also, there was a questionable
I saw this
injury last night.
This is so good.
I want to ask y'all, have y'all ever seen an injury handled like this?
What do you got?
My boy cramping up.
He's
They
Whoa.
like, get your ass
No, that ain't real. That's not real.
That's Sora.
That's Sora.
That's crazy.
That's got to be Sora.
That's what you do with a dead
For the
animal.
audio audience, it's a player laying on the floor, and then they just drag him.
They
about
literally
15
drag
feet.
him off
By
the
his
court.
limbs.
No, but they're dragging him by his right arm and his left leg.
Right. Drug him by the cramp. But yeah, I ain't never seen that before. But welcome back, college basketball.
Don't get him up on your feet and hop off. Don't get a stretcher. We're just gonna have. By the way, the trainer is a short woman who's pulling this guy up. No one's gonna help. Everyone else just like, yeah, you got him. That's nuts.
Right.
That's nuts.
Right. So in NBA news, Giannis buzzer beater last night.
Oh,
Indiana. You know, they hate that boy in there. So that had to feel
Juju.
good in front of Halliburton dad.
we didn't talk about this today. We didn't talk about that either. We didn't talk about
Halliburton threat.
Indiana booing Miles Turner in his return like it was his fault.
Of course they booed him.
Why would they boo him?
Because he was talking shit the other day
What other day?
about Tyrese Halliburton.
What'd he say?
He
Well,
was.
what'd he say? Go ask him.
Okay, John.
You do see
He said that
everything.
Tyrese Halliburton, he acts more tough because he knows he has backup on the bench. I mean, when you got James Johnson right there,
That's true.
I kind of would talk a little more too.
Me too.
But some of the stuff he said on the podcast, they took it personal.
I mean, Miles Turner was in trade rumors for 12 years. I can understand why his ass is a little chapped.
This I'll say, Mike. I didn't know that context. I thought it was just they were mad that he left. I'm like, your team is the one that decided to go in a different direction because everybody got hurt. I wouldn't blame him there. But if it's because he was talking mess about the franchise player, then I kind of understand a little bit. Juju, today on the show, what we did talk about a lot was Kyler Murray versus Jacoby Brissett. I asked you to put on the poll. We'll check the polls in a little bit. But before we do that, a couple of things. Number one, what do you think? Who do you think the Cardinals should choose moving forward?
My big brother, cover your ears, Greg, because I think they should roll with Jacoby the rest of the season, man. It looks a certain way when Jacoby's in. It looks another way when Kyler Murray's at the helm. So it inspired me. I was so agreeable and agreeing with that take that it made me come up with the top 5 teams that should trade for Kyler Murray today.
Okay.
Ooh, I like
that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Number 5, the Cleveland Browns. I mean, he's kind of a veteran a little bit. I know they got a couple kids at the helm over there in Cleveland, and we don't want Deshaun to come back. So I think that's a good landing
They're
spot
in salary cap hell, aren't they, though? That'd be tough.
Oh, yeah.
They're in hell. They're in Ohio.
They're actual hell, yeah.
All right, Browns. Number 4, the New Orleans Saints.
You're not a Tyler Shuck guy?
Shuck, whatever his name is.
He didn't show me enough.
More like Tyler Shucks.
He didn't shuck you enough.
Right. Number 3, the New York Jets.
Yes. Well, of course. If you're
So
good,
the bad teams.
why would you want him if you were good?
Wait, let him cook. Bad teams with no quarterbacks. I like it.
Right. Number 2, the Las Vegas Raiders. They wrote back.
Russell Wilson 2.0 for Pete Carroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
And number 1, your Miami Dolphins.
That I'm into.
How you like that, Greg?
I don't.
You don't like Kyler Murray?
No, I don't like him more than Tua. I think they're comparable.
I like my quarterbacks when they can't move at all.
No, the
Can't see over the
mobility
line.
thing I give to Kyler Murray, obviously.
Oh, thank you for that.
Not much else though.
Can I give a little breaking news update? NFL trade deadline, kind of a big trade.
Yes, sir.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have traded for former Raider wide receiver Jacoby Myers. Okay.
Makes me a little worried about Travis Hunter's knee. Think it's a little bit worse than what they said. The 4-game stint on IR might be a little bit longer.
What'd
than
they
that.
get for him? 5th round?
4th and a 6th. For a player who did not
shabby.
want to be in Vegas anymore. All right, there you go.
A little bit.
Right. Did y'all see Stephen A. in the booth last night?
Yes.
Drinking
Yes.
Jerry's tears?
After the turnover. All right, I'm out.
That was awesome.
Juju, we also had another Pablo Torre finds out revelation that Steve Ballmer is getting sued by investors in aspiration. I didn't know if you had. Yeah. Do we have a Juju finds out?
Yes, sir. Juju finds out. You feel me? I'm quick with him like my brother Tony finds out. Like, would you say you got like a minute turnaround?
Probably less 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Hold on, Juju.
Okay,
I got you. Juju.
Well, and Juju finds out Don Cannon right now is working with Lil Uzi and Jack Harlow on Generation Now. He also just mentioned on the podcast that he mixed one of the biggest songs in the decade, Cardi B's WAP, in his car during the pandemic.
Liar.
Whoa.
In his car?
Cannon.
Wow.
car.
Don Cannon. Shout out to the boy.
Pat Summerall will be the next coach of the Auburn Tigers. What are the polls, Juju? Update us on the polls.
Well, we only had one poll today. You feel me? I know y'all be going so fast. So I'll just throw in before I say the poll. This East Coast, West Coast beef with YouTube and ESPN, I've chosen a side. For the first time last night, I made an executive decision. I was like, you know what? I'm not watching the boys on TV last night. I'm not watching it because I'm not paying $30. What's going on?
You said you riding with the alphabet. Google, baby.
Now, in other news, my girlfriend has Sling and they have it, so I was able to watch it. Neither here nor there.
Important
Line
note.
in the sand has been. First and last poll today: who is better, Jacoby Brissett or Kyler Murray?
Big.
Go.
78% of the audience says Jacoby Brissett.
Yes. What? That is
those are your
insane.
polls.
Vindication.
That is insane.
I tried to tell Mike Ryan. I tried to tell him.
Did it to himself.
Did it to himself.
Whole show. Thank you, Juju.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Juju.
Yes, sir.
What the hell are people voting for?